to the commissioner's box, located between home plate and the Orioles dugout, for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. The former minor league pitcher is making his first World Series start. The governor of the state of Maryland, the Honorable Harry Hughes.
Governor Hughes pitched for the Philadelphia A's Farm Club in Federalsburg, Maryland, Eastern Shore League back in 1949. If you saw that throw out to Doug DeCinces, you could see it was off the mark. Well, Governor Hughes was 0-4 with a 5.54 ERA in 16 games.
Now you know why he's in politics.
Here's the lineup for the Pirates. As you heard, Rex Barney, the old fireballer, still looks great. Give it to you when he introduced the players, and I still think the man at the very top of that batting order is bound to be a very important figure as this series wears on between two evenly balanced teams. We're waiting now for the defensive unit for Baltimore to come out on the field. Howard detailed the weather for you as we came on the air. We had a little bit more of the wind earlier this afternoon and then earlier this evening. But now the wind is quiet and the flag hangs limp, and the Baltimore Orioles will wait until their starting pitcher, Jim Palmer, has concluded his warm-up procedures. And he is quite deliberate about it, goes about it in the same way most every time, and I suspect on Drysdale that's a very important thing to do.
Well, you kind of get into a habit, Keith, and Jim Palmer, when he will come in, he will make his way in from the bullpen. He will just drop the cap or bat off, I should say the jacket off, and he'll just make his way to the mound. But right now, he just wants to make sure that he is keyed up and ready to go.
The strike zone will be a conversation piece for a while tonight. Earlier, Howard talked with Jim about it.
The National League umpire, Engel, will be behind the plate tonight, Jim. You're a high fastball pitcher. They don't give you the high strike in the National League. How will you be affected?
Well, I hope I won't be affected at all, Howard. I can throw the ball down when I want to or if I'm in a good groove. But Bert and I are similar type pitchers where we both primarily throw a lot of fastballs, especially up in the strike zone. He has a better curveball. I have a slider. We both have changeups. I think mine's a little bit better. But, you know, it's something I think that I'll be helped by the fact that the Pirates are supposed to be high ball, fastball hitters, and they are aggressive hitters. But the big thing, I think, and what makes me successful is going out there and getting the first pitch over. I'm going to have to get in a groove. The last 4 innings of the playoffs, I was in a great groove. I got the ball down. I'm going to have to do that early or I'm going to be in trouble because, like you said, they don't give you any high pitches. And if I get behind and the Pirates lay off, it's going to be a long night.
Well, I think really that kind of told the whole story in a nutshell right there, Keith. Jim realizes that he is going to have to get the ball down, and there are your umpires. Bob Engel from the National League behind home plate. The American League umpire, Russ Getz at first from the National League. Terry Tatt at second base. Jim McKeon over at third from the American League. It'll be Paul Runge of the National League down the left field line, and Jerry Neudecker, who was behind the plate last night, he'll be down the right field line. As you watch Palmer, he will walk down. Most of the pitchers, they will come down in that cart. Jim has his own theories, his own set ways, and he's done it so many times successfully here, Howard, at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.
He has been, of course, one of the greatest money pitchers of his time, and for that matter, maybe of all time, as you look at the dimensions of Memorial Stadium. 225 career victories and clearly destined for the Hall of Fame, Keith.
No question. Witty man, very entertaining fellow, and we had him with us a year ago working in the American League Championship Series. And now the Baltimore Orioles take the field, and as they run into the outfield, you will see down in the left field area, it looks like it's dirt, and that's exactly what it is. It's dirt tonight. Last night it was mud. Out in right field, you also have a bit of the same problem, but the sun was in and out through the day. There was some wind, and it aided greatly in firming up the turf and making the conditions tonight quite acceptable. In left field for Baltimore, John Lowenstein playing with a very sore ankle, but he's in there. He's an important fellow, especially from the offensive point of view in center field. You have the speedster for Baltimore. That is Al Bumbry. He was kind of quiet last night himself. He didn't cause a whole lot of things to happen, but he can, and he's the top of the order. Over in right field, you have the big guy, Ken Singleton. And Singleton figured in that first inning explosion in that he was an out. And that was surprising because the way the ball was flying around. But from that point on, Kenny got in his licks. Moving to the inner defense, Doug DeCinces, whose 2-run homer decided the game, but then lost the ball in the lights and committed 2 errors. And you won't see DeCinces boot it very many times, twice in a game. At shortstop, Mark Belanger. He's a bit beat up after that collision with Dave Parker at second base. His hand is sore, his leg is sore, but apparently not sore enough to keep him on the bench. At second base, you have switch-hitting Billy Smith, and that's an important thing to note because that's why he's in there. He can go from the other side of the plate against the right-hander, Blyleven. Over at first base, Eddie Murray, and I wonder how many fastballs Blyleven, the Dutchman, will throw to Murray tonight. Working back at the plate, he had an outstanding ball game last night. I thought Rick Dempsey catching, and out on the mound, the details on this man well established now. Jim Palmer, health problems early this year, hurt his back, couldn't arch it. He went to a 3/4 arm delivery, went off to consult the orthopedist about it. Had tendonitis in his elbow. Dr. Robert Curlin said, "Have you been bringing your arm down because of your bad back?" His Palmer said, "Yep." Doc Curlin said, "That's why your elbow's hurting." He missed about 15 starts. So you get a little bit out of the groove, the one that you've been developing for 10 or 15 years, and all of a sudden you're going to hurt yourself. And here's a man waiting in the on-deck circle, Omar Moreno, who has run off 18 consecutive stolen bases. He has plenty of blazing speed. To once again detail the circumstance of Moreno, and I thought his role in the game last night was quite important. With runners in scoring position in the 5th inning, he struck out with a base runner on second base. In the 6th inning, he flied out with the bases loaded for the 3rd out. And in the 8th inning, he struck out with runners on 1st and 3rd.
Well, Keith, you were talking about Dave Parker tying the record for the most hits in the first game. Actually, Moreno has the distinction, and it's kind of dubious at that, the most at bats in a game for 9 innings with no hits. He was 0 for 5 last night. Of course, that is held by many players. There's a lot of 0-fers for going along in that particular group.
Palmer, meticulous as always, talking to Bob Engel, the plate umpire, and now Jim's about ready to go. And Moreno has come walking out, standing just outside the batter's box.
You know, I really think, in all fairness to the umpires, I think they all realize when they get in a game like this that they realize too that there's a little difference in the strike zone between the 2 leagues, and sometimes they're a little lenient. And the times that all of a sudden it really hurts you, and these men are human just like the ball players, they're keyed up, and all of a sudden they revert back to what they have done all year long, and what they maybe will miss a pitch in your own eyes. And sometimes that can get you in a little bit of a jam, but they do a fine job, every one of them. That's why they're here in the World Series.
And the first pitch of game number 2 is a strike, a fastball.
Remember what he said in the pregame show. I know my job. Get the ball down and get the first pitch over.
Fouled away. He's in front, 0-2.
The biggest thing about Jim Palmer, you saw that fastball there that is up and out of the strike zone, and that is the toughest pitch. I don't care if Palmer's pitching. Anybody that throws a high fastball, it's the toughest pitch in the world for a hitter to lay off. Most hitters are better high ball hitters.
That one bounces. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Moreno. The Pittsburgh Pirates stole 188 bases this past season. This man picked off 77. One of these days he'll be over 100 probably in a season. Down the line, foul ball. Called so by Jim McKean of the American League umpiring staff.
That 188 bases is in its own way a tribute, of course, Keith, to Chuck Tanner, who cast this ball club in a different mold, sacrificing power for speed. Made some trades. Al Oliver, a great ball player, went to Texas.
The pitch is high. That time Moreno laid off of it, and that's a very important phrase, laid off of it.
That's it. Chuck Tanner, you know, has told them about that in the clubhouse. He saw Palmer many years as a manager of the Chicago White Sox.
2-2 pitch. Up the middle it goes. And into center field for a base hit, and Moreno is on.
So this is what the Bucks have been looking for, getting that man with his 77 stolen bases on the season on base in a hurry.
Palmer comes back with a fastball. He tries to get it down, but it's just up over the plate, a routine fastball, and Moreno takes him right back up the middle, just out of the reach of the crisscrossing Belanger and Smith.
During the season, Marino stole his 77. He was caught 21 times. Tim Foley is batting second in the order. Marino stole second base 72 times, was caught 18 times. He stole third 5 times. He was caught 3 times. He probably will study Palmer before he goes. Maybe test him. The pitch to Foley is outside for ball 1.
Palmer has got to be aware of Marino over there. He's got to realize he can't lollygag on that leg kick. He's got to get it loose and get it out of there.
Pitch is high for ball 2.
Sometimes with a man that realizes that, whether it's Palmer or anybody else, it just throws you out of sync a little bit.
Well, of course, Foley is the player we talked about last night so often. Had a spectacular year, has those subtle skills, especially gifted at advancing the runner, which is his job now.
Goes Marino. The pitch is swung on and popped up on the right side in foul territory. And Marino is off of there. Missed the call from the third base coach. He didn't see it, and he went to sleep, and he's out of there on the... Well, that's startling to see him make that kind of mistake.
Okay, now let's keep an eye on Marino because Belanger is right by him. He's going to be out anyway, Keith. He goes around the bag. He's not sure where it is. Now he sees. He touches the bag. He does not retrace his steps, and Belanger's standing right there like the corner cop, and he's got him caught.
And there he gave up on it. So the Bucks, who seemed rattled in the first inning yesterday, begin with a major mistake right here. And one of the few times, relatively speaking, that Foley did not advance the runner. But here's the big guy.
Now that really startles me to see them start a ball game like that when they had it exactly the way they wanted it going. Here's Dave Parker hitting in the number 3 spot.
Remember, Marino is a less effective runner on natural turf as exists here than on the artificial turf at home. That's Sue Palmer, Jim Palmer's wife.
The count on Dave Parker is 1 ball and 1 strike. That one bounces to the backstop.
Now there you see Palmer is not going to give in to Parker. He's going to try and make Parker supply his own power. Dave, an excellent fastball hitter, and whether it's in, whether it's out, he can drive it any way. As you heard Palmer say before, if he's going to go to the fastball many times as an out pitch now, not every pitch, he'll try and maybe jam. He's going to go away now.
Down the left side, DeCinces, long throw. Parker's quick. They get him by a half a step. So DeCinces comes up with a nifty play to end the inning. The Pittsburgh Pirates see Omar Moreno run himself right out of any scoring possibility, and DeCinces ends it with this throw, and after a half inning of play, it is Pittsburgh nothing, and the Baltimore Orioles come to bat in Game 2 of the '79 World Series. There's your batting order for the Baltimore Orioles. There have been a couple of shifts in it. Lowenstein dropped down 1. DeCinces moved up 1. Otherwise, they pretty well hold their positions from last night. And they'll be facing Bert Blyleven, the big right-hander for the Pittsburgh Pirates. John Milner is in left field tonight for the Buccaneers. Moreno in center, Parker in right. Madlock, Foley, Garner, Stargell, Ott is back at the plate tonight. Blyleven, outstanding curveball, born in Zeist, Holland, now lives in Villa Park, California, and he's just happy to be in the World Series with these Pittsburgh Pirates. He'll throw a straight change. Early in the season, oftentimes has trouble throwing it for strikes. Fastball might be considered relatively average. He can have good location if he is fine. His curveball is his out pitch, and it's a good one if it's there. Al Bumbry at the plate, swings and fouls it away for strike 1.
And he starts him right off with that curveball. Keith, he wants to establish something right here. And you said it, you hit the nail right on the head. If his curveball is right, he has got as good a curveball as anybody in the major leagues. I mean, it breaks and it snaps.
Bunbury hits it high in the air. That will go down toward the corner and back into the crowd, out of play. This was the time in last night's ball game when the Pirate defense fumbled the ball around. Huge error by Phil Garner. Tonight in the game, the Pirates committed an offensive error in the very first inning.
Mental error.
Moreno on base, had a big jump. He never did see the ball, and he then did not pick up third base coach Joe Launette, and he was gone.
The 6 errors last night, 3 by each team. You got to go back 55 years for the last time that was done in a World Series game. That year, 24, the Senators had 4 errors, the Washington Senators then, and the then New York Giants had 3.
Hot with a silent appeal on the pitch. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's have a look at it.
Well, he tries to work the fastball inside. He's given him 1 fastball, 2 curve. Now his fastball will tail back very close.
Bunbury rolls it foul. Cal Ripken is the coach at third. Jim Fry, the coach at first base for these Baltimore Orioles.
Bunbury, of course, has had a long-time career problem against Bert Blyleven. When I asked him about it, he just laughed. He said, "Did you talk to Bert yet?" At that time, I hadn't. I said, "No." He said, "Well, see what you can find out and help me." Al flies down that line.
He runs well.
1-2 pitch coming. Fouled away again. Belanger on deck, and Singleton will be the third hitter. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. That's reaching for the high shelf, isn't it?
Unlike Bunbury, Belanger, despite the sore leg that Keith described as in there for a reason, he's got a career batting average against Blyleven of .340.
Changed on the ground. Garner, second baseman, throws him out.
Well, just watching the whole sequence of pitches there by Ott. He's like Dempsey. Nobody on base. They don't go to the sequence pitches. They're just using 1 a fastball, 2 a curve, and they're using the wiggle to change. And that's what he came with a change then.
All right, there's Mark's leg. You see the protective device on it.
Blyleven ready to pitch now with 1 out and nobody on, and he comes outside with his fastball.
There's a shot right there. The viewers at home, they can sit and they know what pitch is coming before Belanger. There's another fastball away.
Been sailed. 2 balls and no strikes.
There's the cocky little Bantam, Earl Weaver. He said, "I thought you guys thought they were going to catch us last night." Said we had some aces in the hole we never had to use.
Now Blyleven working to Belanger has gone to 3 balls and no strikes, a 167 hitter on the season, but career-wise against Blyleven, potent at 340. We noticed
that was another funny one.
Bert's thinking about it. There's the strike.
Blyleven, I was talking to Belanger, and Blyleven comes over and says, "I thought you were going to be out today." He said, "Do me a favor, stay out."
Ball is hit in the air to left field, hit well. Left fielder Milner goes back, makes the catch on the warning track. So he gets Belanger, but Mark hit it about 360 feet.
Yes, indeed. If he pulled it a little, it would have been gone.
Belanger that time, he just laying on a 3-1 fastball, and that's where he got it over the plate, but just didn't have enough power to hit it out right there.
Kenny Singleton, switch hitting from the left side against the right-hander. See a lot of the Pirates out there with their hands in their pockets, the throwing hands. They've got those little pads that are with the chemicals in it to keep their fingers warm, and the trainer now comes out. He brings a tongue, what he calls tongue depressor, out so he can clean his spikes. Now, I don't know why they use a tongue depressor either, except it's the one little thing that fits right in between the cleats.
That's a pretty lady. That's Kenny Singleton's wife. Man can smile with a bride like that.
Yes, sir.
And a career like that. Pitch to Singleton is swung on and fouled upstairs.
Interesting little thing about Ken. He grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, and his parents raised him in the house that an old teammate of yours used to live in and grew up in.
Who's that?
Big Ralph, number 13, Branca.
Change up misses. It's 1-1. Fouled away. Blyleven 12-5, 361 earned run average on the year, making his first start in a World Series game. Singleton hits it on the ground. Blyleven can't get it. Garner does. Flips to first. Inning is over. And so the Pittsburgh defense is peerless in the first inning after one no score. The batting order here in the top of the second. Willie Stargell leads it off, followed by Milner and Madlock. Willie at 38, the leader of the ball club. Here's part of a conversation Howard had with him.
Almost to a man, your club expresses its respect and affection for you and looks to you for leadership. This place a burden upon you in any way?
No, I guess they do that to all senior citizens, and I admire each and every one of our guys. They do ask questions about things from different time, but I think it's more of a friendship that we have, more so than looking upon me for certain leadership. I enjoy whatever role I do specifically hold, and I'm just very pleased to be around so many fine individuals with extreme amount of talent.
Well said. Last night, hit a shot out of here. Now he looks at a fastball pitcher, and he'll wind it up and take it for strike one. There's your high fastball. Downtown. Missed it.
Downtown, if he had it in a perfect location.
That's the key. Tight.
You think he doesn't know how to pitch?
He's a cagey bird, isn't he?
Master surgeon out there.
You just saw it with that pitch.
The count is 2-2 on Willie. Shot to right, base hit. Patience. Great asset for a hitter.
His problem was that he was up against a surgeon with the bat.
That's right. He just didn't get it up enough. He didn't get it in the same position where he got that other one. He got it out over the plate just a little bit. That's what makes guys good hitters, though. You don't keep getting them out the same way. If they do, they'd be hitting 210 instead of 310.
Well, this fella's a dangerous hitter. Milner, the former Met, 16 home runs.
John platooned this year for a career high average of 276. Lifetime, he's 248. Up the middle, base hit. Stargell will turn it second and hold. Back-to-back singles by Pittsburgh in the top of the second inning.
Now they've all been on the fastball. Stargell got the fastball, singled to the hole on the right side. Milner got the fastball, hit it right back up the middle. It's interesting for me to watch Dempsey behind the plate because unlike Flanagan last night, Dempsey moves a little bit more for Palmer. I think Rick has maybe a much better idea of the control of Palmer and realizes that maybe he's not going to miss quite as much as some of the other members of the Orioles staff.
Just checking with the sensei a moment ago on the options.
And Bill Madlock stands in, hits it to the right side, foul upstairs. Ed Ott has moved to the on-deck circle.
Here in the early innings, you're not going to have a two-time National League batting champion. I don't believe you're not going to have him sacrifice here.
Nope.
Chuck Tanner's going to say, I want some runs on the board, boys. Let's us get a hitting early.
Stargell off second base. The pitch is high to Madlock. Stargell at second and Milner at first. Palmer went over to talk to DeCinces about how he was going to try to pitch to Madlock. Try to set it up. Stargell not good speed, particularly at second base. High fastball. 2 balls and a strike.
Right now, Jim is struggling. So far, it's much like a game he pitched in the early season, as you look at his wife again, against the Yankees. He gave up a couple of runs to the Yankees early. They let him off the hook, and they were dead.
That ball is hit to right center field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Singleton gets over there and cuts it off. Stargell pumps around third. He comes to score. Pittsburgh breaks on top tonight. A score of 1-0 as Milner moves from first to third. That's 3 successive singles.
And all sharply hit balls. The point I was making is, if you're going to get this guy, you want to get him early and you want to get him big.
Now that's exactly right, Howard, because if you give Jim Palmer a few innings to work on you, and here he gets a fastball just up over the plate. That's all it was. And you've got a guy, as I said before, a two-time National League batting champion, Bill Madlock, standing in there. You can't get away with those pitches. He is too good of a hitter.
And he's a bat manipulator. He hit that ball to right center.
Sammy Stewart gets up to throw in the Baltimore bullpen as Ed Ott, the catcher, stands in. Ott 273 on the year. They go over to first base, and it was pretty close. Here's the right-hander, Sammy Stewart, another young arm. Here's the play at first base. You can see how close it was.
Now we'll watch the stretch motion of Palmer. He will not set at the belt because his takeaway is too deliberate. It's too high. He sets high and he pitches from that position. He'll be right around there. You see, right around the chin.
Swing and a miss by Ott on a high fastball, and that ball was just up around the chin.
You could realize what a jump a runner could get on him from first base if he sat at the belt like, well, say the majority of the pitchers, but he's right up around the chin.
This time he's way up. 1 ball and 1 strike. With Milner at third, Stargell has scored on Madlock's single. 4 hits total now for these Pittsburgh Pirates. Baltimore jumped out 5-0 last night in the bottom of the first inning. Here in the second, as a high fly ball hit deep to left center field. Bunbury goes back to the edge of the grass, makes the catch, tag at third. Milner scores, sacrifice fly for Ott, and a run batted in. 2-0 Pittsburgh. That's the first out in the inning. Madlock is at first base. Here's Phil Garner. The Pirates second baseman loose and easy today after a tough night last night. Holding Madlock at first, 1 out, 2 runs across. 4 sharply hit balls in this inning. Off Palmer. Madlock's going. Dempsey's throw. They've got him.
What an arm.
What a release.
Oh.
What a release by Dempsey, and he had it right on the money. Madlock had a pretty good jump, but I'll guarantee you Dempsey came out of there throwing, and they got him with ease.
Well, we gave Dempsey a huge edge in that man-for-man comparison yesterday. And on a swinging strike, you saw one of the reasons why. He nailed 48% of the would-be Steelers against him compared to the league average of 36% in the year 1979.
Change-up curve drifts inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Phil Garner with 2 out and 2 runs across. Two and 2.
You'll notice too, Palmer likes to work in a hurry. You watch how fast Dempsey gives him a sign.
Hit on the ground, Belanger. Inning is over, but it's a productive one for the Pittsburgh Pirates. After 1.5 innings of play, the Bucks take the lead, 2-0. We'll go to the bottom of the second inning now with Eddie Murray, Doug DeCinces, and John Lowenstein against Bert Blyleven, Rick Albert Blyleven.
Just watching Blyleven throw there. You remember watching that curveball, and he has, like we said, one of the best in baseball. There were some years back when they were talking about the curveball being an optical illusion. I wish whoever said that had to stand up there and hit against it.
That was introduced, that theory, first in Bert L. Standish's Frank Merriwell books.
But there were a lot of physicists who tried to go through the motions, or did go through the motions, of either trying to prove or disprove it. The pitch to Eddie Murray. Strike call. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. 2 runs on 3 hits in the top of the second inning. One ball and 1 strike. Moreno toward right center for Murray. Murray hits it high, hits it deep, way back. If it's there, it's gone, it's gone.
He got it right in Eddie's groove, Don.
He got a change. He did not take enough off of it. He got it up over the plate. And of course, Murray hit it well. It's only 309 down the line, but that was a lot further than 309.
Yeah, went in with a second deck.
That's the man who had 25 homers on the year and 99 ribbies. Look at it again.
Watch the location. Up, and you don't get it in that power zone. He hit it a ton.
It was right into the corner of the second deck, looked like. Dropping down, down, and plunk. And it's a 2-1 ball game with Doug DeCinces at the plate. DeCinces hit a 2-run homer last night. Slider snaps in for strike.
DeCinces a little bit bewildered right there. He said, well, what kind of a strike is that? Well, Doug, that's a National League strike.
That's fouled away upstairs.
That's Doogie's wife, Mrs. DeCinces.
We don't have quite as many parkas in evidence tonight, and the stocking hats that we saw last night, but Jerry Klein's wearing one. It's a terrible looking thing. Sharp shot, third base, bad luck, throws him out. 1 away.
For the edification of all viewers, Keith Jackson is now wearing a coat. Is not willing to take on clinical pneumonia.
You're right. John Lowenstein up now. John having trouble shaking off that sore ankle. It just bothers him. Yeah.
Second night in a row.
They can retire it now. The pitch is fouled away.
I would hope.
This telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of the game, pitches outside, without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Count is 1-1 to Lowenstein with 1 run across on Eddie Murray's home run. 2-1 ball game. Blyleven's dad delivers molasses to cattlemen in Southern California. Now, I suspect that Howard would not know what that was for. Don might. That's for sweetening the food. Makes them nice and fat. They eat it.
Howard will take the end product.
Pitch is high and away. 2-2.
Nobody likes a wise guy, Keith.
Medium rare, he says.
Blyleven comes at 2-2. Lowenstein looks outside. Counts full. Outfield playing John straightaway. Milner down and left. Not anticipating that John would pull Blyleven up the alley. John didn't pull on the Angels as he gets ball 4 outside. He hit it right down in the corner. Big blow in the American League Championship Series. That's the first free pass of the night issued by Blyleven. And now here is switch hitter Billy Smith, the second baseman.
You got to think that Ed Ott is going out there to tell Blyleven as he went to that 3-2 curveball right there. He said, come on now, don't start rushing it. Stay there. Stay within yourself. Don't get out in front of that arm.
Billy feels he's a better hitter left-handed.
And you get the feeling watching these two teams go at each other that last night was, as we stated, an augury of the kind of series it's going to be.
Low.
Battle, battle, battle. Fight back.
One out, one on, one in. Bottom of the second. Stargell holding against Lowenstein. On the corner.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's an omen or not, but
Keeping the mice away from the bullpen. The 1-1 pitch to Smith. Pop back foul out of play. That's 26 pitches now for Blyleven in the ball game. Throwing hard, over 90 miles an hour.
interesting, isn't it? Well, Bert's in a different league now.
Lowenstein breaks and goes. Smith fouls it away, out of play. So to see John kept fudging up the line, inching up the line, and kept giving up the distance to him. It's walking back deliberately. He does have a very sore ankle.
He's got a sore ankle, very true, but you got to keep an eye on Lowenstein, because outside of Bunbury, he was number 2 on that ball club in stolen bases with 16 this year.
Bert may have a better look at him this time. Does not go. The pitch is rifle shot. Garner has it back to first. No. That's 2 out. Smith hit it on the button.
He really did.
Now watch the location of the breaking pitch. Really not in that good of a location. Bert's been trying to bring that breaking pitch a few times tonight to the left-handers, especially from the outside in.
There's Rick Dempsey, who went hitless last night, and Keith talked about Moreno's failures last night. In a talk with Rick before the game, he was saying, "Can't believe what happened to me. I left 4 men on base." In particular, that was a called ball. He was upset about his own performance against Enrique Romo. He said, "The man got me with 3 fastballs high and tight, right where I can kill the ball. But I kept looking for that screwsy."
That fastball hit the outside corner. Make it 1-1.
Eddie Murray is the man who hit the home run. Don't smile, Eddie. You're still behind.
Up high with that fastball. 2-1. On deck, the pitcher, Jim Palmer. Time called as Ott goes to the mound again. Oklahoma, Texas. Why, they're starting together already in Big D, getting ready for that one. The Sooners ranked 3rd in the nation. Texas ranked 4. Texas State Fair's going on with about 300,000 folks whirling around, and right in the middle of it Saturday afternoon, that old traditional football game. The ball is bounced over the pitcher's head toward center field, knocked down by the shortstop Foley. No play. Runs it into center field, and the base runner goes storming into third. Lowenstein took a look. John saw the ball knocked down and rolling, and he took off.
Foley made a good play to get to the ball. The ball had the top spin on it, and see it kick away from him. Now he bobbles it. Now he tries to turn around as he kicks at Lowenstein. He just says, well, I'll just keep on going right to third.
Chuck Tanner joins the conference out on the mound as you see it again. Bert had obviously no chance.
Watch this again, because Foley was unlucky on it. There was the good effort, and now his foot kicked the ball away from him, and that's what enabled the runner to get the extra base, Lowenstein, to go to third.
No error on the play, just simply a single.
And here again, the absence of the designated hitter rule in this World Series militating against the Birds.
Jim Palmer, who did not go to the plate in '79, does have a hitting history, however.
He did have a little smile on his face, though. Did you see that?
His best year, he hit .224 in 1972. Lifetime career average 174, and he takes a whiff and misses.
Well, I think Jim Palmer was looking for the same thing that I was looking for, the breaking pitch. Threw the fastball by him.
You've got 2 out, runners at the corner in a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Now you'll get it. Uh-oh, Uncle Charlie. There it was.
I think Sue sees the humor of the situation. The fact that Jim Palmer has to hit for himself, hasn't been to the plate all year long.
Little tap foul.
Jim's a good athlete, good tennis player, good golfer.
He's a good basketball player.
That's right.
He's still collecting art.
Yep.
Got a 2-strike count on him right now with the Dutchman Blyleven. Two out, 2 on. Struck him out. So Baltimore has a flurry in the bottom of the 2nd. They do get 1 run on Murray's home run, and after 2, it's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Jim Palmer warming up for the top of the 3rd inning, with Bert Blyleven scheduled to come out as the leadoff hitter, then Moreno and Foley to follow.
Seems to me, Don, you as the former pitching great, 2 things. Palmer must settle down now. If they get to him, he'll be gone.
Well,
and the other one is Blyleven is struggling, and not too successfully, to control his curveball.
Now, Jim Palmer, you said before, Howard, if you're going to get Palmer, you've got to get him early, because all of a sudden he just starts falling into his good pitching pattern, and he just becomes double tough. Blyleven so far has good velocity. He's throwing the ball well. He has shown you exceptional curveballs, but he hasn't been very consistent with them. If he gets that curveball over consistently, he's going to be tough too.
Fouls the first pitch away. Bert grew up about 10 minutes from Anaheim Stadium, where the Angels play. And he'd hide in the ballpark, sneak in, go out in the dark and make believe he was pitching for the Angels. And to this day, if you asked him, he'd say, that's the club I ultimately someday want to pitch for. Villa Park, right down the road from the... Oh, hit that on the nose. Bunbury on his horse, runs it down. Al had him played just right. He had him over in right center. Good thing.
It took the speed of Bunbury to run it down, too. Palmer got the fastball up over the plate. And
nearly every ball hit against Jim has been sharply hit.
Well, now, one of the more entertaining conversations of this World Series probably took place between third base coach Joe Lynette and Omar Moreno. After the top half of the 1st inning, Omar's up now.
Knowing Lynette, he did not mince words.
Nope. He got him told, I'll guarantee you that. He says, I'm standing over here for one reason.
Slides up the handle, pulls it away, and takes a strike. And he had DeCinces moving. Doug playing him pretty close as it is. Now he's going to come in about another yard.
That's got to be an advantage, though, for Marino, Keith, because every time you bring that third baseman in a foot or so, well, you can just have that much more of a chance to slap it by him.
Baseball is a game of geometry in many instances. Strike two.
We saw a great throw by Rick Dempsey to get a would-be base stealer just a few moments ago. Rick has great confidence that he'll be able to control Marino here at Memorial Stadium on the natural turf, if Marino gets on and seeks to go.
Struck him out. Pitched him well that time.
Oh, he did. A fastball, slow curve, and an excellent change that tailed away from him, and we'll see you later.
And he kept it down.
That's how the scoring has been done in the ball game. Foley fouled out. First time up. Fouls that one away out of play. Again, to restate the circumstances, you have a National League umpire back at the plate tonight, Bob Engel. That's why we've talked so much about the strike zone. That's hit down the right side. It's a fair ball. Nice play by Singleton, and he holds him to a single.
Well, that play was a nice play, and it all evolved from position play. Singleton, well, obviously they've had excellent scouting reports, and that's where your scouting reports come in, Don, on the kind of hitter Foley is, and so frequently he goes down that right field foul line.
Well, he's got the bat up, like we said, about 3 or 4 inches. Palmer again gets a fastball up and over the plate. Foley just lays the bat on the ball, and you had it pointed out perfectly, Howard. He is playing him in perfect position and shading him towards the line and right.
Now here is Dave Parker, and in the 1979 World Series, robust batting average. They got him on a bouncer to third his first time.
Excellent play, incidentally, by DeCinces, who showed no mental hangover from his mishaps of yesterday.
Now you see that left side of the infield. They play Parker. They shift on him. They're backing to the left, to their left.
That's foul to the left side, out of play.
What you must remember is, Parker, as you look at the infield, you see how they are in effect shifted over, but Parker showed great ability in the late weeks of the season to go to the left side.
Lordy, he's so strong. 6'5", 231. Fouled again off the end of the bat. He's not getting around on Palmer. Both times he just nipped it off the end of the bat.
Well, you heard Jim say in the pregame show that he knows how to get Palmer out if he can get his fastball high and tight. Parker out. I think I said Palmer.
That bounces. It's knocked down by Dempsey. Foley runs, and he's in. Well, Rick had trouble getting around the man-sized Dave Parker to get a hold of the ball.
Well, here's a great play. Now, this play shouldn't even be close. Watch how close Rick Dempsey makes it. Hits his mask. Almost knocks it off. Now comes out in front of the plate. Palmer very alertly showing. Look at this play. Now, this play is fairly close at second base.
Notice, too, the force he put into the effort. After he threw the ball, he went right down on his face. But he was on target.
He's a bulldog back there. He's a good one.
That's a wild pitch.
It do make a difference, though.
Bat comes apart, goes over to DeCinces at third, and he throws him out. So he sawed off the bat. Sawed him right off at the handle. And it's 2-1 after 2.5. Bert Blyleven will go through the Baltimore order for the second time now. Earlier, Howard talked to him about a very important thing in his whole baseball life.
Bert, I must talk to you candidly. You're a sensitive, intelligent fella. You know in the American League they put the rap on you that you did not win the big ones. Is that true?
Well, you know, it depends on what they say the big one is. If I lose a game 2-1, and, you know, and I pitch 9 innings and I still lose 2-1 by hanging a curveball in the 8th or 9th inning, I guess, you know, I guess I can't win a big one. But I guess we'll just have to find out tonight if I can win the big one or not.
You find yourself thinking about that kind of stuff?
No, I really don't let that bother me because this is my 10th year. I know what I have to do. I have a lot of personal goals in baseball. I've achieved a lot so far. The good Lord gave me a good health. That's basically what I look for, is just to be consistent for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And tonight when I go out there, I'll just try to be consistent, try to keep our club in the ball game like our bullpen did last night, and give our club a chance to come back and rally.
But didn't you beat that rap forevermore by your pitching down the stretch and by your victory over the Reds in the playoffs?
Well, I hope so, but, you know, like I say, the news media, they can write what they want. They have to sell papers, so basically I just have to go out there and be consistent for the Pittsburgh Pirates or whatever club I'm with.
They can write what they want. On the outside corner. Strike one to Al Bumbry, Mark Belanger, and Ken Singleton. Bert Blyleven originally signed by the Twins in 1969. He pitched 21 games in the minors and then went to the majors. And Bumbry hits a high fly ball to the left side. The left fielder, Milner, coming in, flags it down in fair territory, and Bumbry is out. When Bert went up to the Minnesota Twins in 1970, he joined a pretty decent pitching staff too, with people like Jim Perry, Jim Cott, Louis Tiant, and Dave Boswell. It was a pretty strong staff in those days.
Checking the ball a lot.
Yep.
Well, I don't know whether Blyleven threw that out or Belanger came on and said he wanted to see it. The ball hadn't touched the ground yet.
Belanger, fly ball, well hit to left field first time up.
Ball has 108 stitches in it. Maybe they thought it had less, that particular ball.
Pops it up on the right side. Garner backs up. Parker calls him up, drops the ball, and Belanger goes into second base.
Well, this is something that you see every manager at home, I'll guarantee you right now, is saying, see, I told you, I knew it would happen sometime. Everything nowadays is relative, but you've got now the new one-handed catch. Managers try and get guys away from that if they can. They say, if you ever drop one, but now it's you and me.
But you saw, watch Parker, as Garner suddenly gets out of the way. His concentration was divided. He was aware of Garner's earlier presence, and he was half looking for Garner as he went for the ball. So the Bucks have made 2 mistakes tonight, even though they lead 2-1. Moreno's mistake on the bases and that.
And Singleton at the plate with power. 35 home runs, 111 runs batted in on the regular season, fouls the first pitch away.
You got to be careful getting that fastball up to this guy out over the plate, because he'll just take you right out into the Baltimore bullpen.
One out, and Belanger at second base on the error. Right field by Parker. Hit to the right side, flagged down by Garner, and he throws Singleton out. Nice play by the Pittsburgh second baseman.
Which brings up the man who accounted for the lone bird run thus far, Eddie Murray, as you look at that again.
That ball had top spin. Look at the last minute grab by Garner. That ball was really moving on him.
Now with Belanger moving over to third, here's Murray. One more look at it. Eddie's home run back in the second to make it a 2-1 ball game.
I just got to believe right here that they have just talked about, look, don't let this guy beat you. Don't let him put him ahead. You got first base open, even though you're putting another man on. You've got 2 outs. You've got the right-hander coming up behind him in Doug DeCinces.
He jerks one here. Ed could get a lot of votes by morning. They did go outside and high with that one.
No, I think Dunn is absolutely right. As in a similar situation last night, pitch carefully. If he wants to go for a bad one, let him. Otherwise, put him on.
Blyleven has thrown 50 pitches in the ball game. Baltimore's batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Ed Ott having a few words as you look at Belanger at 3rd with home plate umpire Bob Engel, and then just standing up and saying, well, wait a minute, where am I positioning myself? I thought that last pitch might have been a strike.
Fastball is high and away, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
And don't be surprised if he's green lighted right here.
That too happened last night. Chuck Tanner.
Duet. Murray walks. Here's DeCinces. Series goes on to Pittsburgh, and they're ambivalent about the weather when you folks get over there and get ready to go to work.
Well, I want to make a note of the fact that we're going to miss you, old buddy. You'll be down doing Texas against Oklahoma. Al Michaels will be joining us.
Don't rain it out now, because I have to hurry on to South Bend the next week. All right, here is Doug DeCinces now with 2 out.
And stay away from that state fair.
Runners at the corner. And the breaking pitch misses for ball 1. Blyleven's got to have the curve working. Tanner starting to walk around in the dugout.
He's just taking another peek at that batting order is what he's doing there.
Who's next? Lowenstein's next. Decks him. Wasn't really that close, though.
There's an appeal being made, but that bat did not leave the shoulder. Look at it again.
Duck started to go, and then he realized that he better just move on out of the way.
Here, running fastball. That was not a swing.
Nope, did not go around.
Pretty good career against Blyleven.
Yes, he has a fondness for him.
He went to 3-1 with Belanger, or rather DeCinces, and then Doug hits this one though on the ground. Big gravy bounce for the shortstop Foley, and he guns it across. And Bert Blyleven and the Pittsburgh Pirates dodge a bullet. And Dave Parker's carelessness in right field. Score remains 2-1 after 3. Jim Palmer will pitch now to Willie Stargell, John Milner, and Bill Madlock. Palmer celebrating his 34th birthday next Monday.
These are the 3 hitters who hit consecutive singles in the 2nd inning that led to the 2 Bucco runs. Let's see if Palmer is beginning to settle down.
Outfield swings around to the right and goes just about as far back as they can for Willie. And Palmer's pitch is high and away for ball 1.
You mentioned Palmer having the bad back. There you see the defensive alignment for the Baltimore Orioles.
That's popped up foul. It's going to drift back out of play. Billy Smith, the second baseman, is right between first and second on the edge of the grass, and he has really swung around.
But you can understand how a bad back could really hurt Jim Palmer. Palmer is more of a straight up and down type pitcher. And when he can't bend that back, that gets him in a lot of trouble.
One pitch to Willie. Hard shot, hook into the corner, going foul. Got most of it. Thing never did get more than 15 feet off the ground, but it went all the way to the wall.
Palmer was saying something to Stargell like, how in the world did you ever hit this ball?
Well, look, we've talked about Stargell. See, we
Low
talked
ball
about Stargell on the low ball last night, and I threw in Reggie, too. He can kill you on the low ball. He golfs it and for tremendous distances.
1-2 to Willie. Fouls it away.
When
Just
you're,
barely.
Keith, when you're playing this Pittsburgh team, your task is always to contain them, to stay within a run or two of them at the very most, because once they start throwing the Tekulves of the world at you, you're dead.
That ball is hit out into short left field. Lowenstein comes hard. Good play, John.
He was fooled on that ball, but he recovered great. And that will fool a lot of outfielders as you look at it again. Palmer gets a fastball up, and Stargell with that big swing didn't get it all, but Lowenstein broke the wrong way. Now he has to try and correct himself, come back in, and then makes a fine play on the ball.
Saw leg and all. This is a competitor. He always seems to make the plays that matter most, get the hits that matter most.
John Milner at the plate. First pitch is low inside for ball 1. I think interesting, too, to note the concentration written all over John Lowenstein as he came in pursuing that dying fly. Low.
You see how Palmer's gone to school on these first two guys. He just didn't give Stargell that good fastball like he did the first time. He hasn't given Milner the same.
Jim has now thrown 50 pitches. We're in the top of the 4th with 1 out. High pop to the infield. Eddie Murray comes down the line.
When Milner first came up with the Mets, they had dreams that he would be a left-handed Hank Aaron.
Well, when John came up, everybody was looking for another Hank Aaron.
I tell you, he never materialized for the Mets, and he's never become the great hitter they anticipated he would be. But he's become a dangerous offensive player this year. Here's a guy with the great swing.
Curveball misses to Matlock.
Notice the change in pitching style now for Palmer.
Oh, yeah, he's gone to the off-speed stuff.
High bouncer, DeCinces throws it out. So Jim Palmer gets Pittsburgh in order in the top of the 4th after 3.5. It's 2-1 Buccaneers. Last night, Mark Belanger had Dave Parker come crashing into him at second base. Howard talked to Mark about it.
First, Mark, exactly what happened on that play with Parker in the 9th?
Well, I lost my footing around the bag, and which brought me backwards, and I think my left foot went in front of the bag, and the throw was there on time. It was a perfect throw. And when I did apply the tag, you know, he came in pretty hard, which is, you know, that's going to be his job, to try to knock the ball out, jar the ball out. And he in turn, you know, spiked my leg and my hand, and the ball did pop out, and I grabbed it right away. But the umpire was right on the play, and he said I bobbled it, and you know, that's the way it was.
What's the nature of the damage to the leg?
Well, it's pretty sore. It's very sore right now. I used ice pack and kept it elevated last night. The hand is basically superficial wounds, but it's very sore, and I'm going to have to try it and see if I can, we'll be able to move good.
All right, pregame comments from Mark Belanger about having a tree fall on him last night at second base. Now we go to the bottom of the 4th inning for John Lowenstein, Billy Smith, and Rick Dempsey. So often a man makes a big defensive play and then comes up first to lead, and here it is. Lowenstein made the fine catch in left field.
You know, I think maybe some of our viewers that are watching that saw the different uniform used by Baltimore last night. They have 2 sets. Last night they used the orange top as that's fouled away, and tonight, of course, they've gone to the all white. So don't let that fool you. That is still the same Baltimore Oriole ball club.
Pittsburgh has multiple uniforms as well.
They got a bunch.
That ball is hit sharply. Garner flags at it and can't come up with it.
I don't know whether this is a football hop or not, but they give him an error.
It's a tough error.
No, wait a minute. Not yet. They haven't.
No, they haven't.
No.
That error's on Parker.
That ball came up on him just a little bit. They give him a base hit.
Yeah. better.
which I think is a proper call. 3 sports writers serving as official scorers in this series, and that's a subject we'll drop for the moment.
Saw Garner shaking his head. He says, I've got that on the carpet at home.
That ball is fouled by Billy Smith sharply down the right side.
Blyleven, going into the bottom of the 4th, had already thrown more pitches than Palmer has thrown in the 4 innings he's worked against the Bucks. And Burt, who had only, what was it, 4 complete games out of 37 starts, he has to be concerned about tiring.
Billy Smith, with 1 strike on him, rolls it on the ground to Matlock. He'll go to second, 1 back to first, double play.
Well, that'll help a pitcher.
That was a great turnover by Garner at second base. He was taking no chances whatsoever with Lowenstein trying to break up that double play. Little check swing, taking the third baseman right in front of him, taking him right to the bag. Now watch Garner get him down. Get down, Johnny.
Boy, he really whipped it through there, didn't he?
That's what you got to do. You come up with a couple of stumps if you don't.
That's right.
Scrappy little guy, Garner. He doesn't let an error upset him.
Rick Dempsey swings and fouls it back. Look at this angle now. You see him put that runner down. Wow. You take one of those in the chops, you wear it home.
That's it. You'll wear it all winter.
The man he threw to discussed Garner's error, key error last night, Stargell, on the bus coming to the ballpark today. He told him to forget it. He said, remember in the next to the last game of the season when we were still battling for the pennant, I threw a down and out to what should have been Lynn Swan. And nobody could get to the ball, and I lost the game for us. So don't worry about it.
I had to laugh because he says, he says, I thought they would call timeout. It was incomplete, but they didn't in the run score.
2 balls and a strike to Dempsey with 2 out. And the base is clean, and Bob Engel waves the right arm to make it 2-2.
Well, on to Pittsburgh tomorrow, and what a great sports city that is. It's become a city of champions with the mighty Steelers and now the Bucks.
Reaches and bounces it to the shortstop, Foley. Throws him out. So the double play helps. And we've played 4 innings of play at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, and Pittsburgh leads it 2-1. We go to the top of the 5th inning for Ed Ott. Here's Big Don Drysdale.
All right, Keith, it'll be Ott, Garner, and Blyleven. And that first pitch is fouled back. Ott, a sacrifice fly his first time at bat. Right now, he is driven in. Has proven to be the go-ahead run. It is 2-1 Pittsburgh. We're in the top of the 5th. Change a drag attempt, and Palmer has it on a hop and throws him out. Now 1 up, 1 down for the Pirates, and Howard, he is starting to gel.
Well, in the pregame interview, he said his task, and he talked about the playoff game against the Angels, to keep his ball club in the game, and they'll find a way to win it, which has been the Baltimore pattern this year. Now he seems to be keeping his club in the game, but there's a way to go yet.
Oh, there is, and Phil Garner will step in. He bounced to Belanger at short his first time at bat. You saw Palmer before looking to the outfield, hands parallel right in front of his chest. That play, Garner straight away, and he hits it straight away. A little squiver right back up the middle.
There is not a weak spot in this Pittsburgh lineup. You can't ever get a momentary let up, unless it be the pitcher, of course.
Garner says,
yeah, he feels he got away with one on that hit.
He did. Palmer knows it too. He's kind of nodding his head and acknowledging the fact that, yeah, you got me there. Now here's Blyleven, and now the Baltimore Orioles with 1 out and a man on. They will look for the sacrifice. DeCinces up on the grass at third with Murray holding Garner at first. 1 out. There's DeCinces. Good bunt by Blyleven, a little hard. Murray, a good throw to get him, and a return throw in time.
Beautiful, beautiful defensive play. as good as you can see, and it all rested on Eddie Murray, who had the guts to take the chance and make that hard, perfect throw to second. And then an equally good relay. Look at it again. Murray had to decide instantly.
He's got to know how hard that ball is bunted. Belanger, the great turnover, the return throw to Billy Smith, and they double up the pitcher Blyleven, and the Pirates are gone, and after 4.5, it's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Now Jim Palmer to lead it off, and we talked about a class guy he is. He had a chance to talk with Howard again before the game, and here's the conversation.
There's a sign posted in the Pirates dressing room, an alleged quotation of Jim Palmer's. If they can't beat Flanagan, they'll never hit me. Did you say that?
How would I say that about a guy that's probably the best left-handed pitcher in baseball this year? It's a tough time of the year, Howard. You talk to so many writers, and a lot of times you get misquoted or not. They even make things up. I never said anything. I have great respect for the Pirates. I know what they can do. They hit one off one of the best left-handers in baseball last night, and they got 11 hits. My job is I hope to pitch better, but I hope we get 5 in the first, because it takes a lot of things away from the Pirates. You don't run when you get 5 runs down. You don't take the extra base. You become less aggressive, and they battled back last night. They showed everybody what kind of club they are, and I'd never make a statement like that.
And I don't believe he would either, Howard. 1 ball and no strikes to Palmer. Fouls it away. The count 1-1.
But the sign is in the Bucks clubhouse. Well, people like to get things started.
They might have had somebody, one of their own writers, printed up.
That's right. Get the club fired up.
Get them fired up. That's right. Sure. Good swing that time by Palmer. 1-2 the count. Blyleven, of course, throws a lot of breaking stuff. He's never really had any major arm problems. The only problem he might have had at one time, and that was throwing across his body, but they broke him of that in the instructional league. Missing outside to count 2-2. And that's a funny way how they did it. One of the fine pitchers in baseball, Marv Grissom, was the man that did it. He stuck a chair in front of him. He said, now, if you want to throw across your body, you're going to land right in the middle of it. So I guess he had to square himself away to the plate, and that broke him. Hit well left field. Miller has a play. Out number 1.
For Jim, that's a moral victory.
That's right. He'll get a hand.
It's only his 2nd time at the plate this year.
I'd like to do that with a man on third and only 1 out, or no out. But there's 1 gone. We go to the top of the order. Al Bunbury, 1 for 4 last night. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Bounce to second and fly to left.
I'm sorry, Don. Blyleven hanging in there. His curve is as good as there is in baseball.
Line foul. The thing where Burt will get away with his curveball is that it is so good that if you're really not used to seeing that kind of a curveball, every now and then, why, he'll get away with a mistake. Depends on if he loses any velocity off of the curve, any of the good snap, the good spin.
But if you talk about the law of averages, Twin D, this guy Bunbury got to be due. He came into the game with 3 out of 31 against Blyleven. Blyleven has tortured him.
He has. They've got Madlock up on the grass at third to take away the possible bunt, and he hits it right at him, and a good play by Bill. Gets up and throws him out. Boy, there is reflexes right there. What a great reaction play.
We said the fielding would improve based on the playing conditions. Look at it again. The ball appearing like it would go past him into left field for a single. Bunbury hit the ball sharply, but quick as a cat. The reflex action of Madlock, the perfect throw. Madlock, a complete ball player.
And there's 2 gone to Belanger. 1-0. That's just a do-or-die play. If you get it, fine. If you don't, well, that's one of those things, too. Belanger 0 for 2. Marquez fly to left and then hit the shallow fly ball to right field that Parker came in and dropped.
This ball game assuming a rapid pace now as the pitchers have settled now. begun to take command.
And it's a kind of ball game that both managers are completely in. They are there. There's the Baltimore bench. Eddie Murray. Look at that graphic.
They don't talk about Eddie Murray. He's a steady going kind of guy. But
left center hit well. Moreno will run it down with his speed, and that is out number 3. So the Baltimore Orioles are gone. The Pittsburgh leading 2-1, and we'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local stations. Well, it's a little chilly here in Baltimore, as we've mentioned for the last couple of nights.
that is not Green Bay, Wisconsin, in a title game. And we are not calling this the ice game.
That is out in the Pirate bullpen. There's the scoring. All the scoring coming in the second inning. The Pirates with 2. Baltimore coming back with Murray's home run. And that's where we stand. 2-1 Pittsburgh as we go to the top of the order and the top of the 6th. It'll be Moreno, Foley, and Parker.
Your crowd, Don, is 53,739, third largest ever at the stadium.
Just, what was it, less than 100 below last night?
Now Moreno tonight has singled, and then he was doubled up on that foul pop-up by Foley in the first inning. And then he struck out. One hop to DeCinces. One away. These are the kind of innings you like to have right here in the middle part of the ball game. Just one pitch, one out. And so far Moreno, he got on base one time. He might have got so excited he forgot what to do.
We haven't met his wife yet.
But they doubled him up.
But I'm sure we will.
Here's Tim Foley. He hit into that pop double play and he singled. 1-0 the count to Foley. See how quick Dempsey will give the sign. Coming right back. Palmer doesn't want that change. He wants the fastball again, and Foley flies it to center. Right there's Bunbury. 2 gone. What is that? 3 pitches?
Yep.
3 pitches, 2 outs in the 6th for Pittsburgh, and here's Parker.
As we said, you want to get Palmer early.
Parker has bounced to DeCinces twice at third. And has not really hit the ball that hard to DeCinces. Once he just splintered his bat.
Palmer has pitched Parker very well.
Oh, 0-1 the count.
That's the way he said he wanted to pitch him. Don't forget, this Saturday, the 3rd-rated Sooners against Texas at Dallas. Immediately following the World Series game. Keith will be down there to bring it to you.
Just took a little bit off. Now that was not a change. That was not his fastball. That is what you get in between. That's just a nothing fastball.
Well, look at it again, because Palmer just looked at umpire Engel, Bob Engel, with absolute disgust.
Now the count is 0-2. Now Palmer wants another sign.
He's got a big burden tomorrow. Johnny Candelaria.
The Candy Man. Line to center. Bunbury will have to play it on a long hop.
Boy, it's hard to keep that big guy off the bases, isn't it?
He's tough.
He is a great, great baseball player. He is a great, great athlete. Candelaria faces the burden of going against one of the wiliest pitchers in the big leagues, Scott McGregor.
And it was McGregor who finally clinched it for the Orioles.
Shutting out the Angels, one of the best hitting teams in all of baseball. McGregor's control sometimes seems uncanny. He moves that ball around you. He knows the weaknesses of every hitter. And then as they begin to guess on McGregor, he begins to outguess them.
Classic example of the old saying, you put a little on, you take a little off. We'll keep Parker close.
You give him something and you take it away.
That's right. Murray probably went into Palmer and said, "Hey, now don't be throwing any changes to this guy with me holding this other big dude over here at first base."
Met one of the most remarkable men in the game earlier, just before the game, came in to visit us. The man who says, "I bleed Dodger blue." We'll be back next year. Thomas Lasorda.
Yeah, you know where he is? He's sitting in the coffee shop where it's warm watching television.
2 balls and no strikes.
Well, Tommy helped you a lot, my good friend.
Yes, he did.
He guided you when you were first beginning.
That was in the old Montreal club, the Montreal Royals. 2 balls and a strike to Parker. I should say to Stargell. Parker at first. There's the strike. 2-1 the count.
Interesting thing is you watch Jim Palmer. You know, the Dodgers had latched on to him. It appeared in the early going that his career might be as a Dodger. Then he went off to Arizona State, you'll recollect.
I do remember that.
And they lost out on him.
Good fastball by Palmer. 2-2 the count.
Really grunted on that one.
Now he threw this fastball by Stargell. Stargell is not on this fastball at all. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-1 Pittsburgh with Parker at first. They'll keep him close. Billy Smith way over in the hole on that right side. He's just there. He is. Foul left side. DeCinces will give it a try. It's trying to come back and he can't reach it. Great effort.
He could have had that ball if it weren't for that roller with the top, because then he would have had the extra 2 feet to get against the Bucks. Could have leaned in and had it.
He might have had that, but if it hadn't have been for that roller with the tarp, we wouldn't have had the first game played here yet.
See that? That's what
There's great
kept
effort.
the ball out of his reach.
Great effort by DeCinces. And there's a grounder right to it. Easy play. Pittsburgh gone in the 6th inning. And after 5½, it remains the Pittsburgh Pirates 2, the Baltimore Orioles 1.
That headgear'd be all right unless you got caught in a rainstorm. Then you might run. Huh?
Some of the city employees here in Baltimore.
We'll get a bill for those traffic markers.
Now's the time you want to watch Blyleven closely. With only 4 complete games and 37 starts, he's got to go against the meat of this Birds lineup: Singleton, Murray, DeCinces. Blyleven had 7 years, you'll remember, with the Twins. And finally, he went in the free agency market. There were contract problems. And the Twins have really been amazing. I don't know of any team that's been struck down by free agency the way they have. The late Bostock, Carew, Blyleven, and Heisel.
And the pitch is strike to Singleton. He is bounced to Garner at second base.
And
He's
yet,
over 2.
And yet, Don, Gene Mock keeps them up there.
They came along this year. They were amazing. Good curveball by Blyleven. 0-2 the count. You see, they allow the pitchers with this cold weather, they allow them to go to the mouth. They can blow on their hand.
I want to correct that last statement. I said he was traded to Texas because of those contract problems.
That's exactly right. And then on to Pittsburgh. No balls and 2 strikes to Kenny Singleton. 1 for 3 in last night's game. He's so far 1 for 5 in the series. Loop to left. That will be a base hit. Milner has to get on it in a hurry. Singleton around first. A wide turn, but he will hold right there.
And that brings up Steady Eddie.
Eddie Murray coming on. There's Singleton at first base. Blyleven made a good pitch. He jammed him.
That's the test of a good hitter.
Murray has homered. He's accounted for the only Baltimore run tonight, and he's walked. There's Wild Bill Hagee. He's up there leading the cheers. He's trying to get these Oriole fans going.
It's more fun than driving a cab.
That's what he is, a cab driver here in Baltimore. Left center field, and that could be in the gap and up against the wall. It will be. They're going to send Singleton on around. They'll wave him. The relay will not be in time on the double by Murray. We're tied at 2.
Exactly why I said now is the time to watch Bert Blyleven for fatigue. Enrique Romo quickly working in the bullpen for the Bucks as you look at it again.
Fastball up over the plate.
And hitting it where it was pitched. Steady Eddie Murray in his own way symbolizes this Birds baseball team. He doesn't get the big press notices, but he does the job.
Now it's Doug DeCinces in a 2-2 tie here in the Baltimore 6th. Nobody out, a run in, 80 pitches thrown by Blyleven.
And it's only the 6th inning and nobody out.
And now we get a left-hander up, Grant Jackson, I believe, up throwing along with Romo. And DeCinces will be trying to do one job, and that's will move that ball to the right side with nobody out, a run in, and Murray standing at second base. Baltimore known for their execution, and we'll see how they play it. Pickoff, look out, and Murray back.
There they are in the bullpen. Grant Jackson, number 23. And the man with the screwsy that drops right out from under you, Enrique Romo, the right hand.
Curveball for the strike. 0-1 the count.
Beautiful pitch. DeCinces followed it, and he knew it was in there. Keith Jackson just lit one of those little fires under our table.
One ball, one strike.
The guy on deck is no chump, remember, John Lowenstein.
There's Wild Bill. He's got him going again. They took him out to the West Coast in their playoff series with the Angels. He's been really instrumental in crowd reaction here at Memorial Stadium this year. High chopper, they get a break as he pulls it. Foley has to hurry, throws to get him, and what a play by Foley.
And a good scoop by Scarger.
Now on the play, Murray moves to third, and now we'll see how Chuck Tanner. Now here's this play by Foley.
Full throttle all the way on it, knowing full well that he had to make it perfectly, had to have something on it, and he pulls it off. Willie comes up with that big web of a glove at first and smothers it and holds on.
Foley, after he threw, he went down hard. Now the right side of the infield will come in. Foley is still back, but he is now starting to move in a little bit. He's just about at the baseline. The outfield, they played Johnny Lowenstein to hit a little bit to the opposite field. They give him the gap in right center. Foley, the deepest of the 4 infielders. Well, there's a dandy
You
curveball.
see the action on that ball, folks.
That is not an optical illusion. Believe me, it is not.
Well, it has to do with rotation. Spin.
0-1. Lowenstein with the infield in.
Those who don't believe a curveball curves are those who don't believe the top of an airplane wing lifts it.
I don't believe that.
It does.
It's beginning to rain.
A few drops are starting to fall. They said that there might be some rain tonight. The wind has shifted. Tonight it is blowing out. Good fastball. 0-2 the count.
And Lowenstein was not looking for it.
No,
he
he
was
wasn't.
looking and thinking curveball. So the ball was by him in a hurry. He'd like to have it back.
No balls, 2 strikes. Murray still stands at third in a 2-2 tie in the Baltimore 6th. Hit well. Parker, a good arm. Tagging is Murray. Here comes a throw. Here comes Murray. And he is dead.
Now,
What a
that's
throw
why.
by Parker.
That's why we wanted you to meet Dave Parker in the pregame show. The enormous versatility of that brilliant athlete. That kind of throw won him the MVP in the All-Star game in the Kingdome in Seattle. Murray is not the slowest runner in the world. Not the fastest, but not the slowest. A competent runner. And Ott was just waiting there with the ball. You talk about a guy 6 feet 5 inches tall, 231 pounds, who uses the whole ballpark for his hitting, who is so fleet of foot, the way a great tight end would be at the Parker size, and then who will not spare the body on the slide. As you look at this play again, the way Parker went into Belanger last night. Just a brilliant ball player.
Through 6, it's a 2-2 tie. Now we go to the 7th, and once again, here's Keith.
With John Milner up at the plate, and the rain now is starting to fall noticeably. There's packy weather coming in, sticky weather with a lot of wet in it.
You always bring it with you.
I'm leaving where the sun shines, I hope. That ball is hit out into right center field. Bunbury coming in a hurry, and he's there. That play that closed the bottom of the 6th inning for Pittsburgh after that brilliant throw by Parker. Ott blocking the plate. Strong fella. He said he never got around to that fancy stuff of lifting weights. He just growed up strong. He's a country boy. Milked cows and chased hogs in Muncie, Pennsylvania.
You've been with the cows all night. Molasses.
We've got a bunch of farmers playing this game. Yep. When I was growing up, some of these little town teams around middle America, pretty good little baseball clubs in them. As a foul back by Bill Madlock.
Tell you, Ott looks like a tree trunk down there.
He's strong.
I believe his reputation just preceded him in here to Memorial Stadium. He's tough.
Madlock fouls that one up on the right side upstairs. The count now 2 strikes on Bill. To Dave Parker, who let one get away from him. A relatively easy play early in the ball game, comes back to show you the enormous talent he possesses. That one is cued foul. Robinson now in the bullpen.
Cued foul, eh?
Right off the end of the stick. Don Robinson, who came in relief last night and threw bullets. He's cranking up. Jackson and Romo have sat down. We're all even at 2 in the top of the 7th inning. That's sharply hit. DeCinces off his tummy. Throws high. And it goes into the dugout. Or goes into the crowd. Or Dempsey over there can't find it. It's in amongst the photographers, and finally fishes it out.
Well, the momentum of DeCinces just took him to the ground. He made a good play getting to the ball. That ball was hit hard. Now he just loses his balance. He goes down. Now when he gets up, I'm not too sure whether he's going to get Madlock or not, but you can see that throw the arc. There's no chance for Murray.
Look how high Ed went, though. He really got up there, didn't he? Just pulled him right down. No gravity. It's a single and an error on the throw. And look how high Murray gets up in the air. And he's kind of lucky he didn't have a collision over there and come down hurt. As Madlock made his turn, he went on to second. Here's Ed Ott.
And Palmer with a definite challenge. Ott a good hitter. And then the troublesome Garner.
That's foul.
Though they could walk Garner if need be, if Palmer can get past Ott.
Well, they'll force the hand of Chuck Tanner if they do that, because as you mentioned
come
before,
up for with the pinch hitter. You want to know something? Weaver made an excellent point in a discuss. I'll get to it in a minute.
1-strike pitch. Ed takes it high and away.
He was talking to a group of writers behind the batting cage. Weaver was before the game. And he said, what you people don't understand is when you've got the kind of, excuse me, relievers that Pittsburgh has, in effect, they can use the designated hitter rule. They can keep pinch hitting for their pitcher.
Well, they've got a bunch of them over there, and they've got some guys down in that bullpen that can get you out.
Palmer is high and wide again. Count now 2 balls and a strike. 1 out. And Bill Madlock at second base with a single and the throwing error by DeCinces. That's 3 errors on Doug in 2 games.
You might have seen Palmer now go to his mouth with his finger, but he was down off of the mound. You can do it as long as you're not on that little round piece of dirt out there.
Good point.
That's a strike. Ed knew full well he went for a high fastball out of the strike zone. There's that old, you get that high fastball and a hitter's eyes get as big as a plate. It just can't hardly control themselves. Two and two. In a 2-2 ball game. Phil Garner next, then the pitcher spot. Struck him out.
What a good change. Great change by Palmer. Now here comes Weaver. Now they will talk it over as we look at this change one more time.
That's not fair.
He's way out in front.
And as Weaver goes to the mound and Dempsey comes to join in and Doogie DeCinces too, Weaver is facing the very thing he talked about before the game to that group of writers. Do we want to put Garner on? There are the pitchers for tomorrow. We've talked about both McGregor and Johnny Candelaria.
Bob Engel ambling out to the mound. Say, y'all gonna take all night?
Pirates are so deep. So many hitters on that bench.
Well, Garner,
Second baseman.
he's got to feel like he's got the list in his pocket going to the market and knowing what he's going to get. He knows he's not going to get anything right here, and they won't even waste any time. They're just going to put him on. Dempsey standing outside. Look out.
I would think we might see Easler. What do you think, Don?
Very well.
Well, Blyleven's out there with his jacket on.
I think watching Robinson throw in the bullpen that Tanner was not going to give away anything. He probably sent Blyleven out there. He's thrown 86 pitches so far just to make sure that he's not giving his hand away. He's looking back to the dugout. You know, Bert doesn't want to come out of here. But he said before, you know, I've only completed 4 games, but he says what I've learned.
It is.
There he is. It is.
Yep, it's Easler.
If it means winning a ball game, he says, hey, I'll just try and hold him as close as I can, as long as I can, and after that, why, Chuck's going to make the moves that he wants to anyway.
So Mike Easler comes on as the pinch hitter. 283 on the regular season in 54 ball games. Bert Blyleven clapping his hands as he walks away.
Pitched a fine game. Nothing. He deserves those congratulations from his teammates. Forget all that drivel they used to throw out about not being able to perform in the big ones. And in the Baltimore bullpen, the young man, Tippy Martinez, hasn't allowed a home run since Aurelio Rodriguez hit one against him last year in May. How's that for a record, Don?
Not too bad. A lot of people like to have that.
Easler stands in against Palmer now with 2 Buccaneers on the bases and 2 out, and he fouls it back. He jumped on the first pitch, and it was a high fastball. And there's his pretty lady sitting in the crowd. Mike Easler came over from Boston March of this year for George Hill, Martin Rivas, and Cash. He led the International League in 1978 at Columbus, hitting .330.
It's not a bad batting average, is it, with 2 outs and runners on base? He has 2 home runs. I saw him hit one of them. He can hit.
Madlock at second, Garner at first, and Palmer's pitch is off the corner, and it's 1-1. There's the big burly West Virginian.
to be 22 and that strong.
And he'll be the new Bucks pitcher.
Palmer deliberate. Easler pops it foul, back out of play. 1-2.
Trying to get a little bit of the book on what Baltimore feels about Easler. The first pitch was a fastball up and in that tied him up on a little half swing. And that pitch right there, he didn't have a good swing at it. Fastball up and in. Palmer, in the late innings when he gets going and gets in a groove, boy, he gets awful tough. He just doesn't give you that real good pitch to hit.
What a money pitcher, though. What a scrapper. What a battler.
Now they get the 2-strike count, and here comes the fans to life.
Changed on him. It's low.
That kind of pitch can torment you half to death.
Mike Easler saying right now, I'm glad that wasn't a strike.
He had no chance to hit that ball. He was right up on the toes of his lead foot.
Yeah, but he's hanging in there.
The 2-2 count, 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 ball game. Chuck Tanner in the Pittsburgh dugout. The pitch is high, and it's full at 3-2.
You could see Dempsey take that clenched fist and say, come on now, let me have it. Let me have something on it. And he missed a little high.
These two teams are something. They really are evenly matched.
They are, Howard, and now with a full count and 2 outs, well, you're going to see both men moving.
Runners go. 3-2 pitch, fouled off.
He's hanging tough. Give him that.
He's hanging tough, and Palmer pitched him tough right there.
Man on deck, Omar Moreno.
What do you suppose Dempsey just told him, Don?
Well, number one, he probably just told him, he said, we're going to go out there, we're going to go at him. Let's go at him with our hard stuff and our best stuff and try and get in that spot. It appears they're trying to pitch him up and in. Well, he might have turned around and said, too. He said, you want to stick with a fastball? And Palmer probably, I would say he might have said yes.
Good picture play on the two managers.
Dempsey.
Oh.
Unhappy over the call. Easler walks. Bases loaded. Moreno coming to the plate. Omar Moreno went down last night for the 3rd out with the bases loaded for Pittsburgh.
What's that, Keith? Look at this pitch.
It's a close pitch. Dempsey thought he had it. Palmer thought he had it. And Bob Engel said, I thought it was a little low, men. We got one more to go.
I thought the National League was the low ball league.
Bill Madlock at 3rd. Bill Garner at 2nd. Mike Easler at 1st.
And Omar Moreno at the plate. Go back to what Keith Jackson said in his opening of the telecast. This is the man who must come through.
Okay, she's got her whistle.
Where is the whistle?
Strike. Rain getting heavy now.
Yep. But Keith told you, in his opinion, Moreno would play a significant role and would have to be successful in that role if the Bucks were to win. Here is Moreno's chance, or Moreno, as you will.
And Jim Palmer taking his sweet time.
Maybe.
A crafty veteran. You know that Omar, after the night he had last night, is feeling a little heat. You know that. That is foul.
I think Mrs. Moreno has discarded the whistle as a bad luck.
Well, another good pitch by Palmer. He got that fastball up and in on him. I don't know whether it's harder on the players or the wives when you get into things like this. I got to believe it's harder on the wives. And the families, the aunts and uncles, the moms and dads, the brothers and sisters.
Ginger always told me it was.
2-2 ball game. The bases are loaded. 2 out. A 2-strike count on Moreno. And he'll back out. Rain coming down.
Just kind of a steady drizzle right now.
Struck him out.
taking Omar Moreno, the fall guy so far.
In the middle of the 7th inning, Palmer gets off the hook, and the score remains tied at 2-2. Big Don Robinson, who appeared in last night's ball game and was very effective among the core of relievers who came into the ball game. The rain is lessened a little bit, but it is still a steady drizzle as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Billy Smith, Rick Dempsey, and Jim Palmer are scheduled.
Wild Bill's got him going on top of that Baltimore dugout. He's trying to get something going.
Let me quickly explain the rule to you folks. Should this game be terminated in a tie score at the end of whatever, 7. Let's wait till the chair dies down. All right, if this game be terminated at the end of 7, 8, or 9 innings, whatever, tied, but terminated because of the rain, the rule is the entire game must be replayed. But all statistics deriving from this game stand and are included in the composite box scores of the series.
Remember that the Yankees and Giants took 13 days to play 7 games back in 1962, and with the weather forecast looming in front of us the way it is, we may be crowding that record before we're through. Pittsburgh bullpen has Jacoby and Jackson at work. And Tippy Martinez is throwing still over in the Baltimore
I
bullpen.
love to watch Jacoby throw that buggy whip arm.
So Robinson, working to Billy Smith, gets a swinging strike.
If this series goes long enough, Keith will conclude both the series and the college football season at the same time.
High pop to the right side, and Stargell drifts over in foul territory. Looking up into the rain, drifts back inside fair ground and makes the catch.
That breeze is a little stiff up there right now. That ball was 10, 12, 15 feet foul. And you saw how far Stargell caught it in fair territory. The breeze
going out,
blowing right straight out as we check the flag in dead center field.
The flag had been hanging limply, as Keith told you, at the start of the game. There it is.
53,700 and some here watching the ball game as Robinson pitches inside and low to Rick Dempsey. 2-2 tie. Pittsburgh got 2 in the top of the 2nd. Murray homered for 1 for Baltimore, bottom of the 2nd. The Orioles tied it up in the bottom of the 6th. That pitch is low.
Jim Palmer due up next. Will Weaver hit for him, Don?
I believe he will, because
Pat Kelly.
Pat Kelly's out there.
Right.
What? Back, boom, crash. Count is 2-1 now on Dempsey. That's foul upstairs. There's Pat Kelly, left-handed hitter. And you know what? I'll bet you somewhere in the book Earl Weaver knows of Pat Kelly's ability against this particular kind of pitcher. Pat Kelly is a pretty good fastball hitter. And goodness knows Mr. Robinson has one of those.
Well, both pitchers did their job, Levin and Palmer. And failed to get Palmer early with a history of early inning troubles.
Robinson walks Dempsey. Pat Kelly, 68 games, 153 trips to the plate, 288 batting average. As a pinch hitter, 11 for 24. That's a .458 percentage. 12 runs batted in. 3 pinch home runs. One of them a grand slammer. Hit it off Dave Heverlow of Oakland. The other home runs came off Stanley and Galasso. And Robinson is high and away. The infield dirt now getting dark. from the rainfall.
That's a good tip-off on how hard and how steady that the rain is falling.
Dempsey at first. Kelly, big swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. You got one out.
You leaving town tonight, Keith?
In the morning. Unless it gets some more snow.
Let me tell you, if this game is halted, we may be staying. They got to replay it.
You're going to be sorry you checked out.
They're holding Dempsey as close as they can at first. I'll tell you, though, the hotel people in this town really are having a struggle with the circumstances because all kinds of people booked to come in, and going in and out. It's something. That pitch is high and away. 2 balls and a strike. You want to know how quick this big guy is? Well, the judge gun says he's throwing the baseball at 95 miles an hour. That's the line score.
You get in a situation like this with this rain falling, this which makes it tough on the infielders as you look at Robinson taking that dirt around because a ball hit to him and all of a sudden they go to reach in and grab and start to throw. They got to make sure that they've got a good grip and that ball doesn't squirt on them.
I'll tell you, there have been 3 World Series games that ended in ties. The last one was in 1922. All 3 ended because of darkness.
Another big swing and a miss at a bullet, and the count is 2-2. Patrick's getting his rips, isn't he?
He's not getting cheated.
More importantly, he's not making contact.
It's for the Pittsburgh's favor.
That's right.
Steady drizzle of rain, the wind blowing out. Dempsey on first base, 1 out. And Robinson's fastball runs outside.
Now if you're Earl Weaver, you're 3-2, 1 out. You've got the go-ahead run at first base. Kelly will swing and miss a little bit. Do you start Dempsey? See how Weaver wants to play it.
Well, he didn't send the contact hitter up there, did he?
No, he didn't.
He sent a free swinger. Dempsey goes. Fouled away.
See Dempsey as he goes back to the bag. He is checking with his third base coach, Cal Ripken. And to double check.
Leave it
to Weaver. Well, he's sending him. Dempsey has his sign. He knows what he wants to do.
Stargell holding the inside position. Dempsey edging off. 3-2 pitch coming. Dempsey goes. Pitch is high and away. Ball 4. Robinson's walked 2 in a row with 1 out now.
Now you got an ideal hitter against Robinson. You got a guy who's difficult to double. A left-handed hitter. He's a good contact hitter. And he's got the speed.
He's also got a pretty good eye. And you've got Robinson right now who has home plate kind of jumping around on him a little bit because after Billy Smith had popped out, he has walked Dempsey and now the pinch hitter Kelly. That could possibly be the schedule.
Yeah, we hope so. But remember the rule earlier cited.
See how much rain there is now. Clay's starting to clog up under the cleats. That's Yankee clay. I think I may have defined that for you last night. They dig it out of the ground over by Essex, Maryland, and haul it over here.
What do you mean that's Yankee clay?
That's what it's called, Yankee clay. That's opposed to Southern clay.
I understand.
Confederate clay.
This is my Georgian friend here is seeking to revive the Civil War.
Don Robinson, struggling on the mound, has thrown 15 pitches now to 3 batters. He's walked 2 in a row. He's got 1 out. A 2-2 ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Bumbry swings and misses at a blazing fastball.
The only thing you have to think about here, as far as gripping the ball, there's not too much for the pitcher. You've got all the time in the world. You can rub the ball up if you want to. There shouldn't be any problem.
He almost threw that one to the backstop.
When Bunbury swung at that first strike, didn't it appear to you he was just trying to meet the ball, chop it to left?
I think he was it. First of all, as you see the grip of Don Robinson, he's a good cross seamer. That's what you call across the 4 big seams.
That's punched foul down the left side in the crowd.
I told you he was going to the opposite field.
He's trying to make solid contact out there. If that ball's fair, I'll tell you that ball is close to being a home run.
Yes, it is.
That's how close that left field line is. It's only 309, and that's what these Baltimores call, give me a 3-10er, and I'll take it.
We saw the Birds beat the Brewers in a key game on a Monday night, 2-1. The winning margin, a left field, opposite field home run by this man, Al Bunbury.
As hard as Robinson throws, you just have to make solid contact.
1-2 pitch. Fouled at the plate.
That was a good pitch. Took a lot off it.
Belanger in the on-deck circle. Might see Terry Crowley.
There's a good hard breaking pitch by Robinson.
There's Mark on deck. You never know. Left-hander Crowley is on the bench. Whoa. So there is a big out.
You better believe it.
2 down as Bunbury strikes out, and now the decision on Belanger. It will be a pinch hitter, and it will be Terry Crowley. So Terry Crowley coming to the plate in 61 ball games, 63 at bats, .317 batting average. Pinch hitter since he came back to the Birds on a regular basis in August of 1977. He's hit .333, 31 for 93 as a pinch hitter. And in 1979, 11 for 40 as a pinch batter.
Never can understand why the Reds let this guy get away.
Well, here's a guy that fits right into the mold of the other two that we talked about last night, Johnny Lowenstein and Benny Ayala. They're all up in years a little bit. They've been around. They're certainly not old and ready to retire, but they realize what their function is with this ball club. They don't gripe. They don't say anything as Tanner goes to the mound, and they will have a little chat. And they're probably just going over and talking and reassuring themselves about the book on Crowley.
That's it, the scouting reports.
But Crowley, along with Ayala and Lowenstein, as they say, when Earl Weaver wants them, they're ready. And boy, if you're a manager, that is certainly a blessing. You don't have people sitting around griping all the time.
There's another big horse sitting in that dugout too, named May.
That's right.
Robinson cleaning the dirt out of his cleats again.
Changed your phrase, eh?
Clay. Crowley in, and the pitch is high. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 ball game. Dempsey and Kelly, the base runners. Robinson's heat up in the middle 90s. Just missed, close.
Here's a man that Robinson wants. He really doesn't want to go to that big guy in the on-deck circle. He doesn't want to go to Singleton. Not if he can help it.
There is Kenny.
Not when you sit around in this kind of weather that we've had for the last few days and then make your first appearance up here and got a guy throwing 90+ miles an hour. This is a guy you want.
Threw it right by him. 2-1 the count.
That's the kind of swing you're going to get sitting around a couple of days and hitting against a guy with 90+ mile an hour fastball.
On the outside corner, Crowley questions it.
You can question it. It was a terrific pitch.
Well, you take another peek at it. Bob Engel thought it was a strike.
Tailed away.
Boy, it really dipped, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of a pitch can make it tough on an umpire.
This guy doesn't just have spin on his fastball, Don. He's got torque. The 2-2 pitch. Nope, it's too high.
Well, 2 outs, 3-2. The runners will be going.
Dempsey at second, Kelly at first. Full count pitch, runners go, and it's fouled upstairs out of play. Rain now has stopped. So back we reload right here for another moment of drama in the second game, the World Series.
There's a shot. Look at that. Is that water glistening off the top of the grass?
Yes, sir. You see out there around the outfield, it's very shiny. Track area. The runners go. Pitch is fouled off. Crowley hanging on. Well, you really grind, don't you? You're pacing up and down the dugout.
That guy does, and the guy in the other dugout does the same thing. Earl Weaver, Chuck Tanner, and Earl Weaver. Boy, you talk about a couple of dedicated guys.
Talk about a couple of dedicated, tough teams.
Runners go again, and he finally walked in. The fastball outside and high. So Don Robinson has walked 3 men in this inning. The bases are loaded with 2 out. He's thrown 28 pitches to 5 batters.
It's not easy for Chuck Tanner right now.
McCulvey is in the pen.
And it's certainly terribly difficult for young Robinson.
That Tanner right here showing a lot of confidence in the young man. When you've got your ace in the bullpen, he's ready to go. He will throw and watch the action and throw a couple of more. You can't afford to stand around too long because in this chilly weather, you can stiffen up in a hurry.
Ken Singleton grounded the second baseman twice, singled, and scored a run. Strike 1.
That might have been ball 1.
Yes, sir. It was high. Looked like it. Punch in the crowd, foul. Back a third.
So he's quickly 0-2 with this guy. He can work him a little bit if he wants to.
Well, again, the factor of, I guess many factors come into play in a situation like this. He has walked 3 in a row to load the bases, and yet his concentration is good here against Singleton. He got him to swing at a pitch out of the strike zone, then he got him a foul. And he struck him out.
Yes, sir.
He struck him out.
Out of the 3 pitches, 2 were balls, and yet Singleton went for it.
Look at this breaking pitch. You think it doesn't snap?
Spins it right down inside, and Kenny can't hold up, and we continue after 7, a 2-2 tie. Back with more baseball after this word from our local station. The line score in the ball game. Jim Palmer is out of there. Tippy Martinez comes on. His last appearance, September 30. He pitched only 11 2/3 innings during the month of September, but he warmed up, and warmed up. Pitching coach Ray Miller, in keeping his charts on his pitching staff, said the Birds had Tippy up throwing a total of 275 times during this past season. So he ought to be in shape. Kiko Garcia goes in at shortstop in relief of Mark Belanger, who was lifted for the pinch batter. And for the Pittsburgh Pirates, they will send Tim Foley, Dave Parker, and Willie Stargell, and the percentages of baseball are about to be tested very early as the left-handed relief pitcher comes in. He will face Foley, the right-hander, and then come Messrs. Parker and Stargell, both from the left side. Martinez can pop the ball.
While Tippy is warming up, I think an announcement's in order. James Rodney Richard, who was to have shortly become a free agent, made Astro fans happy today. He has just signed a 4-year contract with the Houston club. And you talk about flame throwing. What about Mr. Richard, Donald?
Well, I'll tell you, he's got it. He has got it. An excellent fastball, an excellent breaking pitch, and he gains full command of both of them. You're liable to see all kinds of records broken.
Well, Keith said that the percentages are about to be tested. We saw Parker and Stargell between them get 5 hits against southpaws last night. Against one southpaw, Flanagan, the best.
Bob Engel going out to the mound, and I think he's going to define the limitations in what you can do with your hands to your mouth. You got to be back off that mound. It's cold. They do let him blow on the fingers, but not standing on the pitching rubber.
And it was Earl Weaver that went out to tell Bob Engel, hey, look it, go out and tell my guy, I don't want to go out and make a trip to the mound. I don't want that. But you go on out and tell him.
Now Tim Foley is in there, and we're ready to go as Tippy Martinez relieves Jim Palmer and comes with the fastball high, and in the bullpen, Don Stanhouse.
Colorful, flaky kind of guy. Weaver has great faith in him.
There's a strike.
These two teams will scratch and claw at each other for maybe 7 games in this series.
Foley hits it down the right side. Going toward the corner, Singleton over there, gets it. Just
that
in
wind.
fair ground, and the wind blew it back in. No question about it.
That ball was in the seats.
That's what it looked like, Don.
Goes right to the wall.
That ball is up in the seats, and here's where you cannot give up on a ball. That ball blowing back in, and actually, let's see where Kenny catches it. If it's even in foul territory or fair territory. It's fair.
Yeah.
That's going to come down fair.
Dave Parker.
Here's Dave Parker. Singled his last time up in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Dempsey wants it down and outside. Breaking pitch, snaps in there, just exactly where Rick Dempsey called for it. And it's 1-1. Outside again with it. Fastball is high. Couldn't see how many fingers.
Number 2.
Hit on the ground of the third baseman, DeCinces. Doug throws and gets him 2 down. Now here comes Wilbur as we take another look at the play by DeCinces. Ball sort of spinning off the end of the bat.
Look at the water coming off.
Yeah.
You could see that kind of disgusted look at DeCinces. He's throwing it. He's got 5 fingers in a prayer on that one.
Water.
Said it was like a bar of soap last night.
Game conditions won't bother the groundskeeper.
That's the way the scoring was done by the Pirates in the 2nd inning. Stargell was involved in it with Milner and Matlock behind him, with Willis scoring. Ott getting a sacrifice fly for the 2 runs. The Orioles, Murray a home run in the 2nd. Then in the 6th inning, Singleton's a single and Murray's double. And that's where we are at 2-2 with Pittsburgh at bat in the top of the 8th inning, and 2 out. Nobody on. And the breaking pitch is in for a strike to Willie. Tippy Martinez makes it look so easy, doesn't he? Fluid motion. It's 2 strikes on Stargell.
You know how they got Martinez, don't you, Keith?
Yes.
Yankees made a great deal, didn't they? Dempsey, McGregor, Martinez, all to the birds.
Pitch to
Holtzman
Willie.
trade.
Oh, yes. An appeal to the third base side umpire, Jim McKean. He says no.
Yeah, that deal, if you recall, he was acquired from the Yankees with Dempsey, Rudy May, Dave Pagan, and Scott McGregor.
Strike 3. Stargell takes the curveball and strikes out looking in the top of the 8th inning. So Tippy Martinez comes in and does his job, gets him in order. Middle of the 8th inning, it's tied at 2. Primarily a fastball pitcher and a fastball hitter at the plate. Strength against strength. A 2-2 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Foul.
Well, everybody's got to stay warm.
It's out in the Pirate bullpen.
What happened to the fire?
Roasting hot dogs on it. Raining again. Changes outside and high. Don Finn, run off that trade that we left a note on a while ago. All the people that went back and forth in that bushel basket deal that we were talking about.
Yeah, well, we'll do that right after this pitch.
The count is 1-1 on Eddie Murray. Little looper out in short center field, and it drops. Base hit. Bat came apart. Robinson hit him right on the hands with it, but Murray fought it off and dunked it. And the go-ahead runs on first.
Now we're talking about that trade for the Baltimore Orioles and the Yankees. Of course, I said before it was Dempsey, Martinez, May, Pagan, McGregor for Doyle Alexander, Ellie Hendricks, Kenny Holtzman, Brent Jackson, and Jimmy Freeman for you trivia fans.
That's not trivia to the Birds fans.
No.
That's one of the trades of the century, not just the decade.
Doug DeCinces to face Don Robinson now. With Murray on first base. The way Martinez looked in his first outing, first top of this inning, he may be hard to get to for a while.
Now Pittsburgh's looking for the sacrifice. Madlock up on the grass at third.
Well, last night, Doug DeCinces was the man who hit that blast to deep right center. That Parker corralled with that brilliant one-handed running catch. DeCinces likes the fast stuff.
Well, you see the two corner outfielders, Milner and Parker, they're all deep. The main thing you don't want now is a ball hit over your head.
Robinson playing catch with Stargell right now. Jacoby and Jackson in the pen. Madlock goes to the mound for a moment.
That's your outfield alignment. You'll play deeper in the latter part of the ball game. Of course, right here you're in a 2-2 tie. Ball hit over your head for extra bases, and you're down a run with the speed of Murray at first.
Raining pretty hard right now, too.
You look around home plate, and you can see exactly where the movement of the feet is, and you can see how that has actually been kind of, well, it's dark. There you see the light spots underneath where they'll kick it around.
Ball got loose in the bullpen.
I don't think Robinson's making it any easier for himself. He keeps walking back on that wet grass and then back on the dirt.
Now we're ready. Murray off first. Nobody out. DeCinces at the plate. They're trying to keep Eddie as close as possible.
You're a guy like Stargell, you've really got to be alive, because you can find yourself handcuffed over there if you fall asleep a little bit.
Time called now by the first base umpire, Russ Getz. Eddie Murray asking for the opportunity to clean off his cleats. Now he's ready. Spikes, if you like. But is foul.
Now there's a case where Doug just didn't have his bat in the proper position. He had the bat laying back. Big thing about bunting, you got to get the bat out, and then you come back with a pitch. You don't leave the bat back and just try and flip it out there.
And he wants that ball down the first base line. One reason is obvious. One other reason is that Willie is He's quick, but he is not the quickest of the infielders. He's also got to hold against Murray. And then as soon as the pitcher comes to the plate, Willie's got to start his move. The ball's going to be wet if it goes down on the grass. The bunt is back to the pitcher. Pitcher goes to second. No! Ball gets away from Foley.
Keith, I believe you just called it right there when you said that ball's going to be wet. I'll tell you, Tim Foley right now so mad he could pick that ball up and eat it. He is hot. This ball has got to be a forced play at second base, except we have some disadvantages right here. You've got the water on the grass, and look at that. Now Foley is committed to the left side of the bag, and it's back to the right side. And I believe that the ball moving the way that Robinson can throw, I think he just handcuffed Foley.
So you would give the error to Robinson?
Yes, I would.
I would. Absolutely.
I'd give the error to Robinson, yes, sir. I don't know who
Fielder's
they're gonna
choice
give it
and an
to.
error. No, they give the error to the shortstop.
Okay. We're right.
Look at
Ball
that.
is hit. Foley has it. Goes over to second, back to third. They've got Murray hung up. They tag him out. And they've got 2 outs on that play. A lot of scrambling around. When it looked like he was going to break loose, bang, bang, the 2 fellows wearing white suits are headed for the dugout. Now watch this ball hit sharply to the shortstop Foley. Now Foley takes a swipe at Murray, misses him, then goes over to second to get the runner coming down there. And now they've got Murray hung up, and they run him down, and suddenly the whole thing turns around in favor of Pittsburgh in a 2-2 ball game.
A great heads-up play by Tim Foley, because they had the protection play on, a defensive play on, and the ball was hit. You couldn't have rolled it out any better to Foley. As soon as they went to second base, he got Murray in between. As soon as they made the play at second base, that took the force out. Now they've got to make the tag play on Murray, and they executed that play perfectly. And all of a sudden, what seemed to be a rally has kind of died down.
It sure has, and you have to wonder why Lowenstein hit that way when the job is to advance the runners. He hit in front of him.
And on the first pitch, so John's on first base on the fielder's choice, and here is Billy Smith. 2 out now. Oh, now there's a pitch, throw that almost got away from the pitcher.
Also, against a pitcher like Robinson, who's been wild, you wonder why they keep hitting at the first pitch the way Singleton did to close out the last inning.
Adrenaline. Outside corner to Billy Smith. Strike 1. That's strike 2.
Boy, another good breaking pitch. They keep looking for that fastball, and he's throwing in that good breaking pitch, and they just can't hold up.
Weaver faces, and the manager's not afraid of the second guess. A second guess on the failure to have Lowenstein bunt. Faces a big second guess there.
Bottom of the 8th inning, looked like the Orioles had something going. But that elongated, scrambling double play has taken some of the steam away from their motion.
When you fail to capitalize on an opportunity like that, so many times it costs you.
Oh, that is so true, Howard.
Ball is hit on the ground to Garner, slips, but he makes the play. And Robinson gets out of an horrific jam, and we'll go to the 9th inning, all even, 2-2. Bill Robinson will come out to hit for John Milner and go into left field. As you saw the line score, as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Bill played left field last night. Bill Matlock will follow him, and then Ed Ott, or perhaps Nicosia. We'll see.
That's a good graphic. Interesting. Leads the Bucks in hitting home runs against left-handers. He's against a southpaw who hasn't given a home run in more than a year.
Fouled at the plate.
I still go back to that inning. Don't forget this Saturday, Oklahoma rated #3 against Texas rated #4. It's the time of the big state fair and the Big D, and Keith will be there to bring it to you.
And the pitch is outside from Martinez to make it 1-1. This misses Bill Robinson right there. Bill looks, it's low, and it's 2-1. Whoa, that pitch was outside. It's 2-2.
I think Bill knows it. You could tell by the way his reaction was after the swing. He just realized he went after a bad ball, and he says, well, get back in and try one more time.
That's foul. Rain again has let up. New baseball.
And they'll get one more.
Engel bounced that one off Tippy's shin. Got a rub on it. I guess he'll keep it.
Now, you know what you could do? Just reach down and get a little dirt there and say, well, I'm just trying to dry it off. You could have that thing about a burnt orange before you got through rubbing it.
All right, Tippy's ready. A 2-2 count on Bill Robinson. Hitting for John Milner. Fires it back.
He got a little lucky right there. He hung that curveball. You see Dempsey looking out, and Martinez just nodding his head. Now Tippy says, not to want another ball. That one doesn't feel right.
Here comes 2-2 one more time. Pulled in the hole, left field. Base hit for Bill Robinson. Robinson has good quickness on the bases.
Got a pitch just up over the plate, and Robinson just waited well and hit it cleanly through the hole. That ball hopping out there on that sideline for football. And here comes Earl Weaver.
Earl Weaver comes to the mound. Don Stanhouse is in the bullpen. Bill Madlock is a right-handed hitter.
He's coming in, Stanhouse. Weaver didn't waste a second, but he must be thinking back to last inning and wondering if he should have bunted. That's the scene set. We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah.
Don Stanhouse gets the call one more time, and Stanhouse was a horse for these Baltimore Orioles in the playoff series against California. During the regular season, his 52 ball games, you can see his numbers there, and they are also impressive. He's a gamer. He's a tough, hard pitcher. But he's going to be looking at a guy who has hit him well as they have met in the course of their careers, as Madlock will come up. But Madlock conceivably might not come. We'll see. Matt Alexander now has gone to run for Bill Robinson. So Chuck Tanner going for speed on the bases. And that will mean that Alexander probably will go in and play left.
Now, when you talk about go, when you talk about Matt Alexander, he's liable to take off at any moment because he's a speed burner.
He is the designated base runner for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Don Stanhouse is a type of pitcher, Keith, that, well, Earl Weaver calls him one pack. The reason he calls him that, he says by the time he gets through, he says, I've gone through one pack of cigarettes. He says, sometimes I can watch him and sometimes I can't. And Don's the type of guy, he's a nibbler. He doesn't like to really throw you a strike unless he has to.
To give you an idea of the speed of Alexander, he stole 13 bases this year and was caught one time. I'm not suggesting that he's going to be running here, but I am suggesting that if somebody hits behind him, he can flat fly.
Well, I said one pack. They call him full pack or whatever, but that is Alexander. At first, he wants to make sure that his shoes are clean. They've got some T-shirts that are in circulation right now by the players. They also call, there's Madlock against Stanhouse. They call Don Stan the man unusual.
Well, let's see. I don't think Alexander will be running. We could be wrong. Weaver was unorthodox last inning.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him go.
I would look for the bunt or the hit and run. Matlock is a good man on the hit and run. He has that short, compact, beautiful swing. Excellent at hitting behind the run.
We're going one way, either stealing or hit and running.
This isn't the fastest turf in the world because of the rain. Dempsey has a superb arm.
And in the top of the ninth inning, you do not want to waste a base runner.
Nope.
Stan the man unusual.
He's standing out there with his arms folded, waiting for Madlock to get ready. Stoddard now is in the bullpen for Baltimore. Big right-hander. Stanhouse comes to the pitching rubber. Alexander edges off.
There's Stoddard. Superb basketball player for the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. And he comes at you like Radich.
Alexander scratching around. Getting a grip. Stanhouse looks him back and Madlock takes a walk.
Stanhouse is not the fastest worker in the world. He will stand out there. He will think a little bit and stammer around, kick at the dirt. Of course, he's got some unusual conditions right now as the drizzle comes down just a little bit harder.
Guys needle him in the clubhouse. Said things aren't right for Stanhouse unless the bases are loaded with less than 2 outs. Al Monchak over there making some noise to the first base umpire about that move. He's been out there 4 minutes. He's yet to pitch. Madlock. Alexander goes. The throw. No. Yes. My goodness, I thought he had it. Dempsey shoots him down. And a great play by Garcia to reach in amongst the flying feet and legs and come up with it.
Well, take another peek at it. You knew that Alexander's a speed burner and Tanner isn't going to waste any time. Okay, here's the second baseman, Jerry Tata. There's a throw. The tag.
Cleanly out.
Yes, sir.
And you know that the turf is wet. And you know that nobody has a better arm than that superb and too frequently underrated catcher, Rick Dempsey. So I go back to the hit and run or the bunt. This, remember, is the 9th inning.
And it's raining again.
Well, I just had a sneaking suspicion he was going to go.
Well, Matlock got a swing at that ball.
He was trying to protect him.
Ball one. Pitch was up high. Put Dempsey in a very good throwing position. The throw tailed off in toward the runner. Garcia went behind the runner to get the tag on him. And Stonehouse goes to 2 balls and no strikes to Bill Matlock.
See the rain coming down strongly again. It's only the second time Alexander's been thrown out this year, but
there's a strike.
Look at that rain now.
That's the hardest it's rained, I think, so far this
We
evening.
may wind up replaying this game. All stats will stand. Meet us after the South Bend game, Keith, following week.
That's a foul ball.
Are you doing the Army-Navy game this year?
Well, there are several things in life man can't do much about, and this is one of them, weather. Chuck Tanner pacing around in the dugout.
I think Chuck has got to feel even just a little bit fortunate right now to be tied at 2.
Yep. That's right.
After last inning and
That's
that
right.
curious double play.
Matlock hits a high fly ball out into left center field, hits it well, but Bumgar's there with time to spare and makes the catch 2 out.
Well, I'd like to talk to Pat Santarone, the groundskeeper, about the condition of that outfield now. Neither rain nor hail nor snow nor sleet.
The batter is Ed Ott with 2 out. Strike on the corner.
Well, right now, when you go back and kind of recap it, there's 2 things you can look at while you're still in the 2-2 tie. And number 1, you've got to start off with the arm of Dave Parker in right field, who
That's
shut
right.
down Eddie Murray.
Yep. That's foul. Back under the stands where it's dry. The commissioner has put on a hat and coat. That's how wet it's getting.
Yep, that's the Baltimore dugout.
The 2-strike pitch to Ed Ott is fouled into the crowd.
And if somebody's looking along and saying, well, Baltimore will win it in the 9th, who they have is Dempsey, the pitcher spot, and the top of the order, Bunbury. Those are the scheduled 3.
I wouldn't look ahead just yet because I've seen Ott hit them out.
Oh, yeah.
He's got power.
Garcia is going to be batting in the number 9 spot, shortstop.
That's right.
Steve Stone joins Stoddard in the Baltimore pen. The pitch is high to Ed Ott, and the count is now 1-2 with 2 out and nobody on.
Interesting facial study of a troubled manager. Look at Earl Weaver, it's much the same.
Time call.
I think each manager is trying to prove he's unorthodox.
The pitch just missed. Dempsey says something about it, and so does Earl Weaver.
Look at the pugnacious little guy.
He is, isn't he?
I think Earl's kind of kicking himself right now.
I'm sure he is for the 8th inning. Well, you're talking about second guessing. He said yesterday on our Up Close and Personal, he goes home and goes into his office after a game, and he's the first one to replay the circumstances. That ball is hit sharply and off Smith. Billy hurries and can't make a play.
Boy, that took a bad hop. Billy Smith, he's trying to get his win. That's what they say usually about third basemen when they play them off their chest, is that you'll last and have a long career if your chest holds out. Right there is a good example of Billy Smith at second base.
All right, the little pepper pot is up.
That's a base hit.
Phil Garner.
Now we're considering all things. Here comes the old hindsight, the second guessing, as people want to call it. But what if, huh?
They've got about 3 chapters on that if.
Yeah.
300 edition.
I told you I wouldn't look ahead just yet. Donald.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying the facts. Who's going to be there? I'm not saying when they're going to get there.
Phil Garner takes a pitch low to Colby's up in the pen for Pittsburgh.
There's your man.
We may very well see him. Ed Ott at first base, not the swiftest of the Pirates.
This is the kid who hit .377, Garner, for the month of September. Tremendous clutch hitter in the stretch run.
2 out.
Second straight day Pittsburgh has out-hit Baltimore.
Pitch is inside to Garner. 2 balls and no strikes. Phillip, according to the scoreboard, an All-American in baseball at the University of Tennessee.
The sensei right now, of course, he's got to guard that line down the third baseline. He's just a couple of big steps off of it, trying to keep his hands warm. And
pitch just low.
Out on deck, that is Don Robinson, but that's the pitcher spot. He's another decoy out there for Chuck Tanner.
Stanhouse is really digging himself a hole.
Jacoby is warm in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. He's taking his time about it, too. Pitch is high. So Phil Garner goes to first. Ed Ott moves down to second, and let's see what Chuck Tanner decides to do.
He's going to go to the bench, and you're getting a good idea right now of why Earl Weaver calls Don Stanhouse full pack.
Well, Stanhouse was really creamed in that 9-8 victory when he succeeded Flanagan in the playoffs against the Angels.
Well, he had the tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second base, and an additional run over at first when he finally got the side retired. And Baltimore finally won it, like you say, 9-8. There's Manny Sanguillen.
Manny appeared last night as a pinch batter.
Manny was a consequential figure in the 1971 series between these two clubs.
He was then younger and the starting catcher. In his heyday, this big guy could really run, the catcher, too. So now Stanhouse, you saw the numbers that Sanguillen has faced him 10 times and picked up 4 base hits. The tie-breaking run is at second base in the person of Ed Ott.
And the only thing you've got to try and neutralize maybe the speed of Ott, who is not the fastest runner. If a base hit goes to the outfield, you know that the outfield is going to be handling a wet ball.
It's Manny's lady.
See, they're getting colder now, too, as the whole ballpark is pretty wet. But so far, the traction or the grip for the spikes appears to be all right. We did see one infielder, Garner, a little while ago slip some, but the ball, when it comes off that grass, is sopping wet. With 2 out, Don Stanhouse pitching to Manny Sanguillen in the top of the 9th inning in a 2-2 ball game, and he's on the rubber. The runner's edge off. The infield is back looking for the 3rd out. The hole in the outfield is in left center. Stanhouse is in with a strike.
Bunbury fairly shallow in right center field. Frank Robinson moving some people around.
Yeah, he wanted Bunbury to go farther into right center.
He is absolutely right, because that's Manny's favorite spot.
If he can get out in front of something, though, and punch it down the left side, both men might score. Omar Moreno is on deck. Foul back.
He had a pitch he could pull then too, and he was out in front of it. And you can see Manny said, let me have that back one more time.
Boy, I'll tell you, Stanhouse is lucky he got it back, because it's right on the letters, right where you would want it. They played 3 hours and 18 minutes last night. They're closing in on it tonight. Tough, nervous ball game.
Scratching, clawing.
Two-strike pitch. Outside.
You know, as shallow as Singleton is playing in right field, Sanguillen's got better power that way. He's playing pretty shallow out there.
Yes, he is. He's way in. I remember trying to do that one time. Use the bat to knock the dirt out of my cleats. Hit myself on the ankle. I couldn't walk straight for a month.
Doesn't that hurt?
Oh, Lord.
You want to lay right down and cry.
1-2 the count.
Pivotal game for the Pirates, maybe in the whole series. A chance to maybe put it away.
Foul back. Manny hanging in.
Sanguillen is wearing a lot of those Stargell stars.
I wonder if Earl Weaver's watching all this. A lot of times he doesn't.
He's thinking back to the 8th inning.
Oh.
You don't want to.
Count on Sanguillen is 1-2 with 2 out, 2 on. Top of the 9th inning, 2-2 tie. Hit to the right side. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Singleton playing short, right field, throws to Murray. Relay. No! Pirates get the lead.
So often, when you do not take advantage of opportunity, as the Birds didn't in the 8th, you pay the piper. Failing to capitalize, the other team will. And so, that is what has just happened. Sanguillen, a pronounced opposite field hitter.
Dempsey just couldn't get his foot out there in time to make the block. If he gets his foot back a little bit, it might be a different play at home plate. Singleton, as he came on, he took a divot out. Now, what Ott has got to think about, he doesn't want to slip on all that wet grass. Now, watch the left leg of Dempsey.
Just missed him.
Just did miss him, and the good hook slide by Ott enables him to get the plate just under the tag.
One more look as Sanguillen punches the ball to right field. Singleton,
look at that big divot.
He slipped right there, and that might have cost him. Now the throw coming in on the money to Murray, and Murray whips it. Then just eluding.
Actually, Dempsey's out just in front of the plate a little too much. If he's back a little bit, it's a different story. He's out there about maybe 2.5, 3 feet.
And so the Pittsburgh Pirates have gone on top 3-2 in the top of the 9th inning. And here's Marino with Phil Garner now at third base, Sanguillen over at first. Right to the second baseman, Billy Smith, and the inning is over. But what a big inning for the Pirates as they get the lead 3-2. We'll have more after this message and a word from our local stations. Kent Ticovey comes in trying to save the ball game for Don Robinson and for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are leading 3-2. And before the ball game, Howard talked with this remarkable relief pitcher about the value of scouting reports.
I take it you've studied the scouting reports on the Baltimore hitters.
I looked at them, but basically I don't really, even during the regular season, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to scouting reports because I have my one style of pitching and I have to go out there and basically pitch my own game and keep the ball down in the strike zone, throw strikes, and try to get as many ground balls as possible. So it's really a matter of, I look at the scouting reports and say, well, that's nice. They're scouting reports, they have them, and then I'm going to go ahead and pitch my own game anyway.
So much for that.
You know, you got a lot of people, as Matt Alexander, who's gone in to play left field for Pittsburgh, but you got a lot of people on these two ball clubs who are just straight up square people who look you right in the eye and give you a very direct answer, don't you? Manny Sanguillen now going toward the bullpen, and they'll keep things active out there in case something happens. I would think to Ticovey here.
There's going to be a lot of talk about this ball game and about the events in the late innings and a lot of second guessing.
Oh, there's no question about that, Howard.
There's Mrs. Ticovey, and she will assure you that she's tried everywhere in the world to fatten him up and can't.
If the Bucks get out of here winning 1 out of 2, what a happy position they're in. It's hard to beat the Birds in this ballpark. The record shows that. And it's hard to beat the Bucks on that turf of theirs, the artificial stuff at Three Rivers. They've got 3 games coming up there. So if the Bucks can hold together here, they're in a very, very happy position.
Romo and Jackson stay active in the Pittsburgh bullpen. There's Grant, the left-hander, and Romo, the right-hander. And it's wet and sticky.
The 2 big moments in this ball game. Parker's great throw to cut down Eddie Murray at home. You saw that, huh?
I was watching Stargell hit Ticovey on the seat of the pants when he went by. Probably bruised him.
And the other big situation, the bottom of the 8th. First and second, none out. No bunt, no hitting behind the runners. Curious double play engineered by Tim Foley with some heads-up play.
Dempsey swings and misses for strike 1. Garcia will follow him, and then we'll have the top of the order, Al Bumbry, in the bottom of the 9th inning with Pittsburgh on top 3-2.
This is the kid who grew up in Cincinnati, Ticovey, and we mentioned it last night. At the age of 15, they were already calling him the Whip after Ewell Blackwell.
Oh, he's tough. 2 strikes now on Dempsey. What did Tom Lasorda say? That he hates to even think about him, much less see him coming. 94 ball games he appeared this year.
What a job he's done, isn't it?
Remarkable. Struck him out.
Made it look easy.
Watch this curveball and the pitching motion by Ticovey. Arms and legs. Well, he gives you a lot to look at, doesn't he?
That buggy whip, that arm goes behind the back, and suddenly, as you seek and strain to see the ball, it is already past you. Drysdale came up that way a little bit.
Well, I wasn't down that far, but I'll tell you one thing, it's no fun hitting off of people like that. I'll guarantee you that.
Kiko Garcia is the batter, the shortstop. The pitch is outside.
Those kind of pitchers that now you see it and now you don't, well, you can have them.
Oh, he's... That's a foul ball.
You just looked at Earl Weaver. Now a very troubled manager, and he knows what he's likely to be getting from media people if he loses this game. But that is a great manager, and he has proved it. There is nobody better, and he is unafraid, as I have said, of the second guess. There's our schedule. Game 3 tomorrow. That'll be in Pittsburgh. Game 4 Saturday in Pittsburgh. Right after Game 4, Texas against Oklahoma.
The 1-1 pitch to Garcia. 1-2. But Kobe comes at 1-2, and it's fouled away.
You break your back straining to reach the ball.
Well, he keeps it in such a good location. He's got that breaking pitch zeroed in outside. And first of all, that right-hand hitter, he's got a tendency to kind of give a little bit. Roy Campanella used to call it kind of your jelly left leg.
Right there, the hero of the game at this moment. At this moment, the great veteran catcher, Manny Sanguino, former teammate of the late Roberto Clemente, who owned the 71 series between these two teams.
A 1-2 pitch to the Baltimore shortstop, Garcia. Strike called inside corner. Garcia is looking. He strikes out. Dempsey swinging.
It was the last pitch in the world that Garcia expected to see.
Well, he got a curveball, and he got it right over the plate, and he wasn't looking for it there.
Nope.
No, it wasn't a breaking pitch. It was a fastball. Fastball. He got it right there, and he was not looking for it.
And a running fastball at that, with that particular grip and delivery. Here's Bumbry now, the last chance for Baltimore in the bottom of the 9th inning. Yes, sir, this one may go 13 innings in the 7th game before it's finally done. It's got to be an exhilarating experience, though. It looks like somebody brought a knife from the kitchen table, doesn't it? They've given up on the tongue dispenser.
Tongue depressor.
Play mumbly pig for a while.
Got to keep those spikes clean. One slip could be so costly. May has come out of the dugout in case Bumbry can get something going.
In the pattern of this game, think back to what we said about Earl Weaver before the game.
Outside, ball 1.
When you've got a relief staff like Pittsburgh's, he said, they make the absence of the designated hitter rule work for them because they keep putting in pinch hitters and in effect have the designated hitter.
Low.
And that became the story with Sanguino.
Well, what he's absolutely doing, he is complimenting the Pittsburgh bench.
That's
and they've got a great bench.
I got a hunch if Jacoby can get Bumbry here that whole Pirate dugout's going to empty. Beat foul, and it's back at the plate. Ott has it. We'll have local news just as soon as this game is over. But the way this series is going, you don't say it's over until it truly is over. Lee May is waiting on deck. Power hitter. Bunbury right now, though, is the man. Bases are empty. 2-1 count on him. 2 out. Pittsburgh leading 3-2. Trying to even the series at 1 game apiece. Strike. 2-2.
Nothing but startled stars.
Well, if it ends this way, I'd have to say Manny Sanguin will get one.
The shortstop Foley, big bounce, throws him out. The Pirates win.
And look at that Pirate dugout emptying out. There is Manny Sanguin, the hero of the moment, the battle-worn face.
Did his job. So did Tekulve. So did Robinson, who struggled. For that matter, everybody who was there. But for a curious double play in the 8th inning, when Baltimore sort of ran themselves out of the competition in that particular moment. And so we're all even at 1 game apiece. Join us tomorrow night, Game 3 of the 7-9 World Series between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, live at 8 Eastern Time from Pittsburgh. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. Final score, Pittsburgh 3, Baltimore 2. Stanhouse loses it. Robinson wins it.